I told you the exact same thing, right?
Yep.
And then I went to the Discord after someone mentioned that Eddie Hearn said that the fight was on. I went to our Discord and I said, guys, the fight is on for Jake Paul. I've been told that it is a done deal, 100%. But I would tell you that the Terence Crawford fight, I could see that fight being resurrected. Now, if you are in our Discord, ASVP TV, I know you in the Discord. Lil J, I know you in the Discord. I know many other of you are in the Discord. Tell me, am I lying? Tell me, am I lying? I want to see what you guys got. Tell me, is that a lie?
A band up.
Okay.
Turkey on the Street Ring Magazine said that fight was happening too.
Hey man, fuck Band Up. Fuck Band Up. We'll address him later. You know, not Band Up, you know I love you, man, but it's fuck you right now. We'll address what you talking about later. All right. ASVP TV and Lil J just attested to that. Now, there was a reason why I made that statement. Now, I made that statement, and then subsequent to that, I had another conversation with somebody else. And these are people that are in the sport of boxing that have ties to a bunch of different things, right? And we talked about this. And one thing that I know that I've been telling you guys for a while, and I heard this from two different people, they said the exact same thing. Riyadh season has been unprofitable, right? Those fights have not made any money. And as I told the two individuals, I said, listen, a lot of people don't truly understand how these things work. They think they do and they don't. So we had a gentleman on this on the platform a while ago. He came on the live stream. He kept talking about sports washing. And he asked me, what do I know about sports washing? Honestly, I didn't feel like getting into this whole conversation about this, but I'm going to do it right now, and I'm going to explain how this works. So you have countries that have what we call surpluses, meaning their trade, their external trade exceeds their internal trade. So they trade more goods externally, outflow of trade, than they do having than they have coming in. They have what we would call a surplus of money. They run a surplus, right? Not a deficit, but a surplus. So they bring in more money than they actually expend, right? And that ties right into trading. In situations like that, those countries like to diversify their economy because a lot of times they're solely dependent on one industry. Saudi Arabia fits into that bucket, right? They fit into that criteria of a country that has a surplus, but understands that they need to diversify their economy, because if they don't, and in the event that we get to a point where oil and the demand for oil starts to diminish, their economy is more diversified and they have the opportunity to earn money, expand their economy. They're less risk in their economy because they're not tied to one industry, right? So when a country does that, Jay, guess what they need to do? When they diversify their portfolio, they actually need to make money, because that's the whole point. If you are diversifying into an industry or a segment of, like, let's call it entertainment, and all of a sudden your oil supplies or the demand for oil or whatever, that industry that you're tied to, it starts to tank. And all of a sudden, with that tanking occurring, you are in a diversified market that does not make money. Then what was the point of it? That's the way that it works. So it has to make money. So with all that being said, I said, you know what? And I told both of these people this, and they agreed with me. I said, Turkey is going to get more aggressive as it relates to this Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez fight. Because at minimum, what Canelo Alvarez will allow him to do is get close to breaking even in this venture that they've taken relative to boxing. He's going to get really aggressive. So I would not take the Terence Crawford fight off the table for September. And I told you that specifically, but I was waiting for the live stream today to actually speak on that very topic. Okay. So Terence Crawford ended up getting the fight was never a surprise to me. It was not. I had come to that conclusion around noon yesterday, and that was put in the Discord. Okay. What did surprise me, Jay, what had me totally surprised, was the fact that it flipped so quickly. Because I was told by two different sources that the fight was done. Done. Not they're nearing negotiations and all that stuff. No, done. Fight's done. That fight's happening. Okay? Fight between Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez. So, fast forward to this morning. I wake up to another message from you. And that message shows that the roles have reversed and Canelo Alvarez is signing a 4-fight deal with Riyadh Season, and one of those fights are going to be Terence Crawford. And I saw a bunch of people sending me messages and stuff like that. Now, let me back up before I even go there. Had I had the opportunity, if I was not traveling yesterday, we would have done this live today or yesterday. The live that we're doing today, we would have done it yesterday, and we would have actually spoke on all these things. Huh?
I remember I asked you when you were away. I was like, "You want to do it when you get back in?" You're like, "Probably not."
Because I'm getting in too late. Yeah, because I'm getting in too late. I'm traveling. I won't be able to get in. This is not my normal setup. I'm actually out and about doing my real job. So no, I won't be able to do it when I get home because I'm getting home too late. So with that being said, we roll into the day, and I will say what caught me by surprise, caught me off guard that I was not expecting was for it to flip so quickly, which tells me this. Now, those are all the things that I know, right? Here's what I think. And I have not had the opportunity to talk to anybody else today because, once again, I was busy. I sent out a few feelers. I have not heard back yet. I was busy myself. And so I have not had the opportunity to talk to anyone. Real quick. That's good. All right. So here's what I think happened. And I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure is probably close to what actually happened. The people that I talked to.
Oh shit!
What?
Go ahead. Now I'm reading some of the comments in here. Oh my gosh, the ignorance.
Okay. So the people that I talked to yesterday are not some low-level, unassuming folks who would not be in the know in regards to this. But before I even go on, Jay,
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Come on, man. Support the channel, support the grind.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on. We here live and in person. We not the type that go, y'all called us out. I saw y'all on Twitter calling us out. So we here. Y'all can at least smash the like button. Y'all can at least smash the like button. Come on, man. Y'all can at least smash the like button. Y'all called us out. Y'all wanted us here. We here. Smash the like button, dog. We got 85 people in the building and 23 likes. Smash the like button. Y'all called us out and we here. For y'all to come in here, because I already know what's going to happen. I know a lot of people going to come in here and ignore the facts. I already know it. But we here. Smash the like button, fam. Now, like I said, I woke up. No, there is no capping, bro. Everything that I said here. Hey, hold on, man. Hold on, band up. Ain't no capping, bro. Ain't no capping. There ain't no need for me to lie. Let me say something here real quick, Jay, because this is the kind of stuff that pissed me off, and this is the kind of stuff that's gonna make me do something that I shouldn't do. Okay? I don't have no reason to cap, bro. My life is great. I ain't got no reason to cap. Coming on here and lying to y'all don't make my life better. I just enjoy talking about the sport and giving y'all that real deal, because I know there's a lot of YouTubers out there that actually cap. I ain't got no reason to cap, bruh. So ain't no cap here. Ain't no cap. This is what happened. So I just told you what I know. Now I'm telling you, this is the part that I think. I'm not sitting there telling you this is what happened. I'm telling you, so I'm delineating that. How am I capping? Come on, fam. Come on now. Now, this is what I think happened, but I feel very good about what I think. So the people that I talked to yesterday are not some Rudy Poo ass dudes. Okay, now here we go again with all the narcissists. Okay, fuck it. I'm a narcissist. Okay. I'm the narcissist, I'm the hater, and I'm the villain. Fucking deal with it. How about that? Starry Night. Anyway, so these people that I know about, there is no sensitivity. I'm not sensitive. I just don't like when people say that I'm lying because I don't have a reason to lie. But the people that I talked to yesterday are not some Rudy Poo folks. They're not some low-level people. These are folks that are, how do I put this? People that I know wouldn't give me bad information and people that I know have good information. Okay? When somebody's telling me that a fight is done and I know that these folks would be somebody that should and could and would know, then and they're not going to tell me any BS because there's no reason for them to. So that tells me that fight was damn near completed. Meaning, because I thought the contracts had been signed. Obviously, they weren't. Here's what I think happened. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to add these other pieces to this whole puzzle. I was told Jerry Soriano with the $2, 99 problems, but getting a TBC take correct ain't one. No, it ain't. It's absolutely not. It's absolutely not. Because, and we'll address that later because even comments like that are so stupid. And if you thought about this instead of thinking about wanting to come on and just simply be a troll, then you will realize, oh, I probably shouldn't say that. But anyway, I'm still gonna hit you with the all right, ASVP TV, the $1.99 I called cap a while ago, but continue. You're the biggest cap I know. For the love of money. All right. So they keep getting me off track. Oh, let me back up. So when I was talking to these two individuals, and both of them said the Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford fight, that fight was not near a done deal, and they were putting out that information to try to put pressure on Canelo Alvarez to make the fight. Now, Jay, you told me somebody said something like that online. Who did you say said that?
The Ring magazine was putting out shit. They said
No. Somebody said something about they believe that Ring magazine was putting the information out to put pressure on Canelo Alvarez.
Oh,
was it Algieri? Did you say?
Chris Algieri said that.
Okay. For those of you who are in the Discord, you can attest that I said this yesterday at around 2:00 when I was telling you guys the information, and I said we'll go live and talk about it in more detail today. I told you guys that in the Discord. So ASVP TV, you're in the chat right now. Please validate that because I know I said that. Okay. Now, I was told that by two different people before you guys heard it anywhere else, and I put it in the Discord, that they were capping and that it was never almost done. Based off of that and the fact that the people that I talked to were adamant that the fight was happening with Jake Paul, and Jake Paul came on and made the comment that, oh, by the way, I've always been the A side and I will continue to be the A side. In addition to that, we saw the Ring magazine report that Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez was next. Oh, in addition to that, we saw ESPN also report the same thing.
Yep. And the Ring magazine said they were looking to have a Boots versus Blood fight. That's what Turkey wants. It's gonna look to make.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but who owns the Ring magazine?
I could have sworn it was Turkey.
Who was the first one? Who was the first ones that report that the fight was off and the negotiations that fell apart?
Turkey.
Okay, so if we were wrong, then Turki Alalshikh was also wrong because he's the one that controls the Ring magazine and is the one that put the information out. But yet you're coming into the comment section, you're coming on to social media, you're coming into the Discord, you said you guys look like fools, you got it wrong. Damn, isn't the Ring owned by Turki Alalshikh? So then he must have got it wrong too.
He was speaking information out there. That's what we were going off of.
Dumb shit.
Straight from a person's mouth.
Dumb ass logic. Dumb shit. Dumb fucking logic. But because you just simply want to come on here and troll us. But in reality, your master, your leader, is the one that actually told you guys that the fight was off. Now, I think Turki Alalshikh came in and they basically bent the knee. They gave Canelo Alvarez what he wanted. And when they bent the knee and gave them what they wanted, he signed. He switched from Jake Paul to this 4-fight deal. And now Terence Crawford has the fight. And I'm pretty sure that is what happened. Canelo forced them to bend that knee. Now, do I know that 100%? No, but it all lines up. Every bit of it lines up. Every drop of it lines up. And again,
trash.
Huh?
Those other 3 fights are trash.
All 4 fights are trash. But I digress.
It's not Benavidez, it's bullshit.
Now, everybody in the Discord that follows us in the Discord, that knows us in the Discord, will know that we said everything, all the things that you said, everything that we said that we know, we said that in the Discord yesterday. We said it. You all know it. So if you were in the Discord and you saw that, don't come on here talking about, oh, y'all got it wrong. Y'all looking like fools. Then Turki Alalshikh was looking like a fool because Ring Magazine reported the exact same thing. ESPN reported the exact same thing. So how is it possible that we look like fools when they all reported the same thing? And we actually never reported the fight was off. We just simply talked about it. Subsequent to that, I was like, oh, this fight can absolutely be resurrected. And I told you ninjas that. But I didn't have time to stop and make a video because I have work to do. I'm sorry. I can't stop and make a video. I couldn't do it yesterday.
This ain't a full-time gig.
So I said I was going to address it as a part of the live stream. It is what it is. Now, Jay, I didn't talk for about 33 minutes. That's pretty much most of the information that I know. There's other pieces that I'm not going to speak to because it's not stuff that is generally out there. So I don't want to speak. Monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. Man, shut your ass up, Dixon 918. Monkey see, monkey do. Man. Anyway.
Funny thing, he got it wrong. We got this shit. Turkey put the shit out there.
We got it wrong based off of what he put out there.
What he put out there. They ain't saying nothing about him saying that he was gonna have he was spinning to go to Bud versus Boots fight. That's what he was gonna look for, huh? Y'all ain't saying nothing about that shit. Starry Night,
go to hell. Go to hell. Go straight to hell. But you are right. You're definitely entertaining. That's the point. The point of the channel is to entertain. Jerry Soriano hit us with the $2. Which one I want to do for Jerry Soriano, man? Talk money. Talk money. Appreciate you, Jerry. Riyadh only being 4 boxes that can't sell. Yeah, that's true. None of them can sell. You spot on with that. Shout out to Jerry Soriano, man, for keeping his word and saying that he was gonna be off of YouTube for a minute, man. He kept his word, man. He got some other thing. Jerry, did you just recently get married? I think Jerry just recently got married, right?
I don't know. I hope he's doing well, though. I hope that was the reason why. I hope it wasn't nothing bad.
Yeah, man. I think
can't stand his ass, but nah.
No. Jerry's a house husband like us now, so he got to do what his wife tells him to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoever said that we jealous of Bud money or anything, like we ain't jealous of no fighters money or anything like that.
Who said? See. Okay. Here's so now Jay, if I were to turn my camera on my phone and walk through my house, I'd be the asshole though, right? I'd be the asshole. If I go and get on my golf cart to ride around my neighborhood, they'll say I'm a lame. But then I can't return fire for you calling us broke. But then when I show you that ain't the case, then I'm a lame.
But that's when you know they don't have nothing else for you when they gonna call you broke. You have nothing when you start talking about shit like that because it brings nothing to the table. It's useless. You know.
But I'm the ass if I do that. I'm the elitist asshole if I do that. Let me tell you something. I know you dumbasses who say shit like that know that that's not true. And I know that you know that just based off of what you hear coming out of our mouth, you know that we ain't some dudes that live in our mama's basements. I know you guys know that. I know you know that. You don't even have to know what we do and how you just know by how we carry ourselves. Stop saying that stupid shit before I hurt your fucking feelings. Stop saying that stupid shit before I hurt your feelings.
I don't know what fans calling Bud broke or any of those fighters broke. It's stupid.
I don't know anybody calling Crawford broke.
Anyway,
I've never called him broke. Yeah, man, sit up there. Oh, y'all broke. Y'all ain't got no money. Y'all live in y'all mama's basement. What the fuck? Because it's always somebody that, listen, Jay, it's always somebody that makes more money than you. That's why I never like to show anything because it don't really matter. If you make $10,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $300,000 a year, $3 million, $30 million, it doesn't matter. There's always somebody that makes more money than you. That's why I don't like even talking about shit like that. But stop getting personal, talking about we broke and all this other shit. I'm gonna hurt some of you niggas' feelings, man. Y'all better leave me alone, bruh. Y'all better leave me alone. Y'all better leave me alone.
Man, I just look at this shit. It just be sad when I see shit like that. Like that got nothing to do with anything. So Bud versus Canelo being confirmed got people heated. Didn't get me heated. I found this
you emotional. You emotional. We emotional because we respond to people saying stuff to us. So we just supposed to be punching bags and just take it. Okay, I got you. Okay. All right.
Bud now, bro, he owned half of Omaha. Now the thing is, we don't get credit when we talk about Bud. We say like when Bud brings out his personality, like when he was going having a back and forth with Ray Jack on Twitter, we like that Bud need to bring that personality out more like that. But we don't get no credit for that. When we said Bud is number one pound for pound, we hating. We don't get credit for that. So y'all don't keep the shit real, man. Y'all don't keep it a buck.
Jerry Soriano's hit us with the $2 again, man.
Money on my mind.
Yeah, man. Retired as a consistent caller, but still partake. All right, I feel you, Jerry Soriano, man. I'm still happy that you're around, my brother. Still happy that you're around. All right. Let me apologize to the chat. Let me start off by apologizing to the chat. I shouldn't say that I'm gonna hurt y'all feeling because that feels very blue-bloodish. I don't talk down to people. I've seen I won't see so many, but I've seen a few people try to call me a narcissist. Jay, I'm gonna ask you an honest question. No bullshitting. Do you believe I'm a narcissist?
You're an asshole.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I'm an asshole and I'm a piece of shit, but I'm not a narcissist. I've actually dealt with narcissists.
You're a piece of shit.
Huh?
You're a major piece of shit.
Okay, let me define narcissism to you guys. Narcissism has a long driving force and artistic. This isn't it. Hold on, I'm gonna define that for y'all because some of y'all, I don't think y'all really know what narcissism is.
Let me say something real quick, Greg, about this whole Spence thing. People keep swearing, "Oh, y'all, that stuff happening with Spence and Bud still burns y'all soul." No, the fuck it don't.
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
It don't. I think y'all think we're some other content creators that were all on Spence and just went away when Spence lost. It wasn't us. We actually grew. We grew. We've doubled since then. You know, we can't be complete Bud haters when we had Bud pound for pound number one the whole time. The whole time we've had him number one. My problem with Bud was way back that he re-signed with Top Rank. He re-signed with Top Rank that killed his opportunities. And then he sued them. But y'all said, oh, it was everyone else. But he sued them for that shit because they weren't getting them fights. I didn't like the fact that he double deal when initially when he was fighting, negotiating with Spence. He was dealing with David Avenesian and Spence. Spence didn't have any knowledge of that, and he went to fight Avenesian, and Spence couldn't fight anyone. I didn't like that. That's what I didn't like. That was my problem with Bud on that. Bud is a hell of a fighter. We know that. We've always given him credit on that.
Okay, so
But
narcissistic.
That has nothing to do with our feelings about Spence.
Narcissistic refers to having an excessive interest and admiration for oneself and one's physical appearance. It's often associated with self-centeredness, vanity, egotism, and a lack of empathy for others. Now, lack of empathy, that's one of the things I have to work on as a person. I will not lie about that one whatsoever. I need more empathy. But the other, it really doesn't apply. The term originates from Greek myth Narcissus, a young man who fell in love with his own reflection. Okay, so guys, I'm an asshole. I will wholeheartedly say that's all true. But a narcissist, I am not. It's just false. It's just not true. Big Herm hit us with the money, man. Keep that energy. Torch the Trolls, Greg and Jerry Sorianos hit us again. For the love of money. Coming to Vegas to pick up my TBV Awards mic drop. This whole Errol Spence thing, Jay, amazes me. And you and I were talking earlier today. And before I go on though,
Need y'all get the likes up, man. Come on, man. Support the channel, support the grind.
Come on, guys. 104 people in the building and only 45 likes. Come on, man. Come on, man. AM Sports Media, dog. We here. We ain't running from no smoke. We ain't dodging no smoke. Smash the like button, fam. It ain't that hard. Like, this is how people find our content. This is how we continue to grow. Smash the like button, man. It's real easy. It's real easy. Just smash it. All right. As I was saying before, this whole Errol Spence thing, I'm going to explain this again. And I want people to truly understand this because I truly try to make sure people understand where we're coming from. On everything, I do not have animus for Terence Crawford. I don't care. I know you guys want us to be the type that, like, I'm not emotionally invested in any man. I don't have the only man that I'm emotionally invested in is my father. That's it. I'm not emotionally invested in any other man. I'm not. And I know you guys think that we're somehow extremely hurt by the Errol Spence fight and the loss. We're not. I'm sorry, but we're not. Maybe if that helps you sleep better, okay, that's fine. But it's not true. I don't care. But let me tell you what I do care about. Let me tell you what I really do care about. Now, this is all factual, all true, but everything that I say on here is true. You know what actually motivates me? It's not Errol Spence losing. It's Terence Crawford fans. I want to see you bitches cry. Let me look into the camera. I want to see all you bitches cry. That's what I want to see. And it doesn't have anything to do with the loss. It has to do with your cockiness. It has to do with your belief that you know everything about boxing. It has to do with your excessive reminder about July 29th or 28th when it was. The one thing in your life that you've gotten correct. The fact that you rely on that one fight to determine that you are a boxing expert, although you've gotten everything else in boxing wrong. It's you guys. Yeah, it's you guys that I can't stand. And it's not, and when I say can't stand, not personally, because ASVP TV is a Terence Crawford fan, and I want to see that bitch cry. But if ASVP TV called me this evening, ASVP TV know he can call me right after this show, and we can talk about anything, and we'll chop it up. Same with my boy Team Gill. Those two are two that pops in my mind, but those two individuals literally got my personal phone number, right? And they're big Terence Crawford fans, but that's what really motivates me. I'm not motivated by revenge for Errol Spence. I don't care. I want to see everybody that believes that they're an expert in boxing and that their guy cannot be defeated. And no matter what logic you give them, that they just completely dismiss it as irrelevant because Terence Crawford can jump a building in a single bound. I want to see all those bitches cry. That's what I want.
Yeah, man. I mean, the thing with this whole Bud versus Canelo, to me, as far as the fight goes, I just think it's a step too much for him. Even though the great Bud is too much for him because it's 3-weight classes where Canelo's been residing for the whole time. Plus, the fight I really want to see personally was always Benavidez. We know Benavidez said he's not coming back down to 168, but they can fight at 172. And you can't tell me that'd be a more competitive fight as far as the weight and what Benavidez did against Morrell. That's the fight we wanted to see anyway. So we'll see. Plus, I'm not a Canelo fan at all.
Hey, fuck you, Starry Night. Hey, you are becoming very entertaining to me, though. I can't lie. That is very entertaining.
Omar is mad. Bro, Omar is really hurt.
Big ass boxing channel. Y'all are really the worst, along with Fanon and Boxing Eagle.
Who is Omar? I didn't even see that. Who is Omar?
He just posted.
But Omar, the only way that you can actually message in here is to be subscribed. So what are you talking about? You know what? I'm about to sound. Hey, Jason, hold on. I'm about to sound like a narcissist right now. You sitting up there talking all that shit, but guess what?
I'm like God to you niggas. I'm like God to you niggas. I'm like God to you niggas.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? You know what, Jason? I have decided to. People say that I'm a hater. Boxing hacker said I'm the undisputed. I am the undisputed face of hate in boxing. I've heard somebody say that I've heard multiple people say that I am a villain in boxing. Guess what? I'm embracing it. I'm embracing it. I'm everything that you say I am. I'm an asshole. I might as well just go ahead and let them see all of it, Jay. Right?
Oh man. You just be clowning, man. But some of the stuff I'm just looking in here. It's just funny what some of the people are saying, man. This shit is just wild.
Hey, all seriousness, man. I love everybody that support the channel. Even if you come in here and you call me an asshole or a dumbass, or you say I'm a narcissist or anything of that nature, the fact that you are messaging in this chat tells me that you're subscribed. And so you guys get the opportunity to see me in my full form. It's never personal with me. It's all about just having a good time. And I look at y'all like y'all my people. Believe it or not, even if you call me a dumbass, I still look at y'all like y'all my people. So it's all love from my end, bro. It's never been any ill will toward any of you good folks. Big C Senior, I don't know how she did yet. I don't know how she did yet. We're gonna find out probably this coming up week. D-Town Funk in the building. What's up?
Andre Noble came in and talking about you're a jackass. What up, fam?
Hold on. Who said that?
Andre Noble.
Hey, man, he in line, man. He hold on real quick. I'll address that. But ASVP TV hitter with a $4.99. For the love of money. We waiting on. I'm sorry, I jumped. No, fuck all that. I'm not waiting on shit. Are you asking ESPN to apologize? How about Mike Copinger? How about Turki Alalshikh because he owns the ring? I ain't doing shit. Fuck all that. Oh, and Turki, Turki. Jerry Soriano, Turki Alalshikh brother. $2. Turkey never coming back to U.S. September in Vegas. We'll see. And then Jose Santana boxing $1.99. What's Jake? Do not. I have no idea. I don't really give a fuck about Jake. Mr. Too Rich, I respect the belts is in the building. What's going on with you, fam? All right. Where was I about to go? No, man. No, it's always been respect and love for everybody that support the channel, fam. So, Jay, how do I explain this? Y'all are getting very close to what you get, Jason. You get when you talk to me. Is that fair?
What happened? Say it again.
The people are getting very close to what they get, what you see when I'm not on camera. Is that fair?
They getting what I give you, basically.
No, I'm talking about my personality. They're getting very close to what my personality is off camera.
The thing is, both of us are authentic with everything. Greg is just boisterous, and he just lets you know how you feel.
That's it.
We're not hiding shit.
We're not hiding shit. Nothing. Not a damn thing.
So what's
not a damn thing.
What's he said? How does a Canelo and a Mal Charlo fight play out? I hope it don't happen.
Yeah, I hope it don't happen either.
That's how it plays out.
Let me start. So Jay, we need to start moving towards the phone line because, man, I know my people want to come in. I know ASVP TV want to come in. I know Bad Up want to come in. I know my people want to come in and talk.
We skipped 3 of them, Jerry.
Hold up. How did we skip 3 of them? Were they supers? Hold on. My apologies, Jerry. Jerry, I read the Turkey never coming back to U.S. September in Las Vegas. I read that. No, I did miss this one. $2, Jerry Soriano. I'm sorry, Jerry. I did miss this. September, Nello, TBC, Tank, Shakur, DB, Beater, DB. Better BF, and Ryan Haney. My bad, Jerry. I did miss that. My fault. Oh, and we missed this one too. Is Tank going to accept Turkey back to fight Shakur? I think it'll be a joint venture. My apologies, Jerry. I'm sorry about that. We did miss him. All right. So let me pin this phone line to the top. And all I ask is for you guys to call in and talk with some level of rationale and reason, man. Yeah, Starry Night. Anybody can call in, fam. It don't matter who you are. Anybody can call in. Anybody can call in. If you want to call in, call in. Okay, we got a fucking player hating Buster in the building. What's going on?
It's Bandit.
I know. That's why I said we got a player hating Buster in the building.
You are funny, man. You are funny.
Hey, Band Up. Hey, real quick. You know I was just playing when I said fuck you earlier, right? You know you my guy.
Oh, bro, it's all love. It's all love. That had me in tears.
What's going on, man? What you got?
All right, first of all, I got a question I'm gonna start on Jason's helmet today. You know what I'm saying? I gotta start on Jason's helmet. Jason, bro, I got a question.
What's that?
Why? First of all, didn't Terence Crawford say that it was hard for him to make 147? Didn't he come out and say that? He meant Errol Spence, correct?
Yeah. He said that after Spence said it was hard for Spence, but he was gonna rematch Spence at 147, although it was hard for him to make it at 147. But go ahead.
Nonetheless, he still said it was hard for him to come out at that weight, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So why the hell do you keep why you keep just going with the notion he's a 47 pounder. Bro, it wasn't hard for him. It was hard for him to make the weight when he was in the class. So clearly he's not that small.
So he's a 168 pounder. So you say he's been weight bullying. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying that just said it's hard for him to make the weight, but he still can do it to perform. That is whatever the hell you want to call it.
But Band Up.
Making the weight. That's going down and deciding to go up in weight.
But Band Up, address what Jason just said.
160 to 168.
But hold on, real quick before we move. Address what Jason.
I said that's not being a weight bully. Did you hear me?
How is that not being a weight bully, dog? If he was too big for the weight, but he was still trying to get down to the weight to make these fights, then that would suggest he's a weight bully.
No, that means he's trying to collect all the belts. He's trying to get undisputed.
Yeah, he was trying to get undisputed by weight bullying himself there. So you telling me he weight bullied Errol Spence? He weight bullied Errol Spence.
No, he didn't weight bully Errol Spence. Wasn't Errol
He was
Spence
big. He was bigger than
the bigger
Spence.
guy until they were in the ring?
No. He was bigger than Spence in the ring.
Terence Crawford was a bigger guy before they got into the ring.
Oh no, he was a bigger guy, so he must. But Terence Crawford already knew it because he had been studying Errol Spence for 5 years, so he knew he was going to be a weight bully.
How did he know?
Because he studied him for 5 years. Because he studied him for 5 years. All right. Oh, hold on, real quick. We also got my dude in the building, ASVP TV. What's going on with you, fam?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. You know, the pit master showed up to cook.
Yeah, okay.
You sounded real sad in the Discord yesterday.
He said the fights Canelo getting over here gonna be trash. I just wanted to know what he thought about them PBC fights that Canelo had.
They were trash too. Canelo ain't fought anything worth a damn in years.
I tell y'all what though, I'm gonna give y'all some. I'm real quick. If Turki Alalshikh somehow figures out a way to make David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez, I'm gonna get that ninja some love. Go ahead.
It's not happening. You might well hang that up now.
Why? Hold on. Ben, hold on. I'm sorry. ASVP TV. Why isn't it happening?
Because Canelo don't want to fight the dude.
Why doesn't he want to fight him? Hold on, Jason. Hold on. Why doesn't he want to fight him?
I don't know. You tell me.
Because he can't beat him.
It was rumored that y'all
hold on. Go ahead.
It wasn't it rumored that y'all made him an offer as well for Benavidez?
Who is y'all?
Take y'all offer. What make?
Who the fuck is y'all?
PBC. Y'all PBC.
We ain't sports media.
Hey man, go kick rocks. Let me tell you why you saying that, and you know why you saying it. You saying it because you know that he knows that he can't beat David Benavidez, or that's gonna be a rough ass fight. But he taking the Terence Crawford fight because he know he gonna put his ass in the dirt.
Well, see, I ain't never been one to be against Benavidez. See, look, this way you got me mixed up. I'm not against Benavidez getting an opportunity against Canelo, but at the same time, I'm not feeling bad for him. I'm not putting my pom-poms up for Benavidez to get the fight. He was at 68 for how long? Then he lose his belt on the scale, where he became WBC champion at the age of 20, lost it on the scale, did cocaine, all this other stuff. If he, some could argue if he would have held on the belt, that would have gave him a better chance to get the fight with Canelo. So I mean, I'm not
don't use that.
Fight, but
don't use that. He's been a mando though. He's been a mandatory though.
I don't for whatever reason. I guess Canelo's scared of him, but Canelo ain't fighting the man, you know.
Yeah, but he ain't scared of Terence Crawford.
Money, but, I mean,
he ain't scared of Crawford because he know he gonna put him in the dirt.
I told you guys that.
Hey, that's why we want Canelo. That's why we want Canelo. You know, Fondor was running. You know, with his tail tucked between his leg. You know, he wanted to play games and chase.
You'll be in the ring with him, huh?
You know how they go. Typical PBC fighter fashion. Coming off the hill.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
So if Terence Crawford get put in the dirt, is it still we? We got put in the dirt. I just want to make sure.
I want you to continue to do what you're doing. That's keep being wrong.
Hey, what was I wrong about? What was I wrong about? What was I wrong about?
You said Bud wasn't getting the fight.
Hold on. You said he wasn't getting the fight. You also
That's true.
said Errol was gonna put him in the dirt. So keep using that lingo.
Yeah. No. So that ASVP TV. ASVP TV. Hold on.
I don't want no deal here. I don't want you.
Hey, listen. Everything. The two things that you just said. The two things that you just said were fair. I said that Errol was. I just said that the fight was close, and I thought Errol was gonna edge it out. So that's number one. I didn't say Errol was gonna put him in the dirt. You got the wrong channel. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I did say that I didn't think he was gonna get the fight. But how would I know that he was gonna find his zaddy to basically lose money for him to get the fight? How did I know? I couldn't predict that.
Here we go.
What they saying?
But like I said, man, keep being wrong. Keep being wrong.
Hey, that's fine.
Y'all, the only time y'all have joy is at the expense of Terence Crawford.
Yes.
And that's why
you're absolutely right.
Right there.
No, I know.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Keep winning.
That's not true.
He just keep winning. That's why y'all the Angry Man podcast.
Listen, if he listen, if he gets put in the dirt on September 13, 16, whenever it is, all I want is for you to walk up here.
If he lose,
when.
Hold on. I'm gonna ask you a question. This is the difference between me and these other fans. I can't speak for everybody. If he lose, he lose. We accept that. He moving up. He gonna challenge himself. This is the fight. He won't accept it. So I want it as well.
Hold on.
We accept that this is a fight he can lose. That's the reality of the game. But I'm picking him to win.
But hold on, SVP TV. Let me tell you why I don't believe you. Let me tell you why I don't believe you. Because you were crying like a motherfucker yesterday, making excuses around why he didn't actually get the fight. And so if you making excuses about him not getting the fight, you damn sure gonna make excuses when he get his ass put in the dirt.
Show me that my response was actually to the contrary. I thought Canelo. I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel bad that we lost the fight.
Hold on, ASVP TV. Hold on.
I'm not. In fact, I thought Canelo should go make that easy.
No. Hold on, bro.
What I was worried about was that when it was announced that the fight would be at 200 pounds.
No, hold on, bro. It
ain't gonna make sense for you to come back down to 160.
No, bro. No. Bullshit. You were talking about how can we even believe the ring now when they saying that the fight didn't happen? How do we know that that's even right?
Listen, man.
Did you not say that?
My criticism for the ring is why are we? I got the same criticism that every other YouTuber that wanted the fight had. We waiting. We in February announcing the fight in September. That was my only issue with it. But I don't know. I think he wanted the fans to be excited as he is. Maybe that's what it was. But that's the only thing leading.
Ain't nobody excited about that bullshit ass fight.
The fight being finalized and all that was that why is we announcing the fight in September all the way in February? You know what I'm saying? It's a little too early for that. You know what I'm saying?
It don't matter either way. He going in the dirt.
We got the fight now, so.
Yeah, we got the fight. Yeah, man. Hey, what we do now, boss?
Listen, Greg, when we was talking about it yesterday, I told you straight up, I'm gonna stay optimistic. I'm gonna stay optimistic about this fight. You were so quick to talk about it was official. It's official when that Ring magazine put it out. But I told you the Ring magazine was the same people talking about that it was gonna happen. Before they said it wasn't going to happen, but you did not want to. You didn't want to make no comment, no video about that. Like you said, your only happiness is at the expense of Terence Crawford. Band up. Fucking words yesterday.
Band up. Fuck your optimism, nigga. I don't care about your optimism. So first and foremost,
we got to differentiate the people that's actually putting out the post from the ring in Turki, Alalshikh.
Hold on. No. Nah, bro. Stop the bullshit. Stop the fucking bullshit. Stop the fucking bullshit. Stop the bullshit. No. Stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. They getting their information from Turkey.
Listen, my time is limited here, so let me get it off. You know what I'm saying? So, we know Turki Alalshikh just a few days ago posted him, Terence Crawford, and Canelo Alvarez on a video call. So, in my mind, I'm waiting till one of them say something. Really, I'm a share the ring post. Ring post gonna give me hype, expecting the fight to come. You know what I'm saying? But after what happened that night before, where they posted when the fight was off, I said, okay, let's just wait for the explanation from the three guys we know that was involved. And what happened just last night? All three guys say the fight is on. It came from the horse's mouth. It came from Turki Alalshikh's account, Terence Crawford's account, Canelo Alvarez's account.
After that nigga bent the knee? After he bent the knee?
It don't get no more official than that.
Get him.
So, Ben, I got a question for y'all.
If you would have just waited and not jumped the gun, you wouldn't have eggs on.
Hey, man, fuck all that jumping the gun, bro. No. Everybody reported the shit. No, everybody reported the shit. Stop the bullshit, man. No. Hey, guys, stop the cap, bro. Stop the cap. Everybody was reporting the same shit. Stop fucking capping, bro.
No, everybody wasn't. Everybody wasn't reporting it.
Everybody might have been reporting it, but nobody was like, "But they getting the fight," like you did.
Oh no, you just no. Okay,
Now you know what it is.
Okay. Hold on, guys. Hold on. So what you really got an issue with was that I took joy in him not getting the fight because everybody was reporting and talking about the same shit. I saw. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog.
Yes,
like, this is where you lose credibility. You lose credibility.
I was pissed off that you had a damn smirk on your face. Hell yeah, Band Up was mad.
Yeah, just say that. Just say that shit, nigga. Just say that shit, nigga.
That's the mistake you made.
Were y'all mad when Terry was talking about having blood fight
Hey,
boots?
hold on, guys. Hold on.
Were y'all mad with that?
Hello? Yeah.
What you said, Jason?
Were y'all mad with that?
What's going on?
About what?
About Ring Magazine, they said Turkey is suspending efforts to finalize contracts with Canelo Crawford in September in the wake of Alvarez novelty fight with Jake Paul.
Yeah, I'll cut the stream short.
Again, like I didn't think
Right,
the Jake Paul
I'll cut it
would
short.
affect a fight way in September. If the Jake Paul fight take place in May, why would that affect something taking place in September? I agree with you on that. But
I'm asking about how y'all feel about him talking about having boots in Crawford.
I didn't have no problem with that fight. I already told y'all.
I mean, you know what it is. I think Bud's gonna still come out of that one. He's gonna whip his ass if it came to that, but it's not gonna be as easy.
Hey, Band Up, you in timeout. You won't talk about what a goddamn weight bully is. No. You in timeout.
What? You say what?
Band Up in timeout. He don't know what a weight bully is.
I mean, the fight was even then if that's the case, because we know Errol be doing fat cap.
Hey man, go. Hey. Number one, Big C Senior. I ain't in no goddamn trouble, man. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Now, I didn't hear some of what y'all said.
The chat got to differentiate when it comes to PBC lovers and actual boxing fans. Errol Spence was weight drained.
Hey man, why we keep talking about Spence, man?
Was a weight bully in their eyes. Devin Haney is a weight bully in their eyes.
He is.
David Benavidez, you would never hear them say. David Benavidez is a weight bully though.
He's not.
Never hear them say that.
No, he's not.
Now when we talk about back in the day when we were talking about possible Tank and Devin fight, they'll be quick to tell you Devin a weight bully. But you'll see them same people pushing for Benavidez in the Canelo fight. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't making no sense.
It does.
Hey, Jason and Greg, I got a question, though.
This is what I believe. If a fighter can make that weight consistently, and he ain't killing himself to make that weight, at the end of the day, it's all on him. He take that risk. He got to live with the consequences of it.
Hold on real quick. 2 Cent, can you hear us?
If it blow up
Say
in
something.
Face, then that's on him. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm talking about 2 Cent. 2 Cent, I had you unmuted when you came on. I still can't hear you. Can you hear 2 Cent, Jason?
You know, we love us some 2 Cent.
Hello?
Come on, sir.
Man, 2 Cent don't want you.
Starry Night in the house.
Where's Starry Night? I only hear. How did he get on the? Where's the? Oh, that's you from Anonymous. Starry Night, man. What's going? Hey, I ain't gonna even lie, bro. Like some of that shit you put in the message, I can't do nothing but fucking laugh, dog. What's going on?
What's going on? I want to say thanks for having me, Jason and Greg. I enjoy watching you guys' live streams. They're entertaining as fuck. Every time you guys talk, I just can't help myself but laughing. And again, Greg, is nothing personal. I enjoy messing with you. I disagree with a lot of points you make, but again, I like to support the channel by watching you guys every time you guys come on. And thanks for having me.
Well, we like boxing fans like you because you can understand that it is fine to disagree and that this is not personal. And my guess is you don't live vicariously through other men. Therefore, you don't take it personal if I say something that is against your favorite fighter. So we like folks like you. You're actually the type of people that we're trying to attract to our channel. So thank you for being a part of it.
Not people like man.
Again, thanks. I don't know why people take it so personal either. Even if you like a fighter so much, I mean, like, why do you want to get personal over chat on YouTube? It's like I don't get it. I just go on the podcast and watch you guys argue and debate with other people. And again, I mostly disagree with a lot of points you guys you guys make, but I'm not gonna ruin my day. I just take it as what at word, and so just keep on listening to your points. And if you guys make good points, you guys make good points. If you make bad points, you know, everyone makes bad points. It's just part of life.
Yeah, man, I agree. Now, I don't think I make any bad points, but yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you, and that's the way it should be. And I know Jason just shaded Band Up and ASVP TV, but actually ASVP TV is very tolerant in terms of having a different opinion and coming on.
Band Up, he's a husky.
Yeah, well, Band Up's a piece of shit, so I just wanted him to know that. Band Up,
Let me tell you why I think Bud's gonna beat Canelo.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to say my point.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so I've been watching Bud since his Brady's press conference fight. When he was at 135, he moved up to 140 to fight him as a last replacement. And I've watched press conference fights in the past, and he's fought great boxers like Amir Khan and Alvarez. And he's knocked out great boxers, and Bud came up as the last replacement and whooped his ass like through all 12 rounds. And I'm like, wait, who is this cat? I'm like, who is this new guy in the boxing verse? So I've been watching him ever since. Never missed a fight. From 135 to 140 to 147 and 154, and every time he's fought somebody, he's just made him look like nobodies. The only thing that sucks for him is that he never really got the exposure like PBC fighters did. I watched both PBC fighters and HBO, ESPN, whatever network or promotions they were under. I like watching all fights. But yeah, I feel like because he beats all his opponents one-sidedly, he doesn't get that respect like other boxers do, like Spence or Porter, Thurman, Garcia. And a lot of people say Porter was washed. I disagree, because if anybody is a Porter fan, everybody knows that this guy's fought everyone. He has one of the best resumes, and he's always given a great fight to every fight he's ever been in the ring with. Spence was a killer. He was at 147. I started watching him when he beat Algieri, and I'm like, wait, who is this guy? And he knocked him out, something Pacquiao couldn't do. And then he started fighting tougher fights. I was pissed that he never fought Keith Thurman, but he got in there with before he even got in with Porter, he beat good fighters like what's his name, Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson was a great fighter. Lucas, he also fought with Victor Ortiz, Lucas Matisse. He's been in there with other great fighters as well. He fought Porter. That was another great fight. A lot of people were surprised that Porter gave Spence a great fight, but if people watch Porter got in there with Alexander. He got in there with Kell Brook. He got in there with Danny Garcia. I mean, Spence was a killer. And then when he finally fought Bud, that's the fight everyone's been wanting to see. But in 2018, which I wish is when the fight finally happened, that's when Bud and Spence finally met face to face, and their face-to-face interaction went viral. It went all over YouTube, all over social media, and I believe that's when the fight really started getting asked for by casual, not really casual fans, but the hardcore boxing fans. And that's when debates started happening in barbershops, chat rooms, bus stops, gyms, like you name it. That was when it finally hit the fan, and everybody's wanted to see that fight. When the fight finally happened, though, that's where I just thought Spence was tailor made for Bud's style. Bud's a very crafty counter puncher, and Spence very good fundamentally. But he was just southpaw. His Bud's southpaw style really just gave him. He couldn't get past that jab. I saw your guys' live stream during that fight, and I think you guys said Spence had to put a high guard up and just push through the punches. But Bud is very strong. He has a wrestling background growing up, and he's a pretty big fighter. He's not as big as Spence, but they're almost the same size. And I don't think the car crash ever really affected him. I think the car crash, because he beat Ugas and Garcia, and if you watch people leading up to the fight, no one was saying that he wasn't the same fighter. I just thought Bud was the wrong type of fighter to go up against. And if they had a rematch at 154, 160, I believe Bud wins 10 out of the 10 times. Spence is a A+ fighter, but Canelo and Bud and Beterbiev and Usyk, Inoue, those are just generational fighters that we don't really see. Every decade.
Yeah, no, I feel you. That makes sense to me. And the thing that I like about what you just said was that Canelo is also a generational fighter, which means he'll put Crawford in the dirt. Okay, real quick, I need to go to somebody else as well. We got two other people that's in the building right now. We got 470. 470, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Greg and Jason, man? Too rich, man.
What's up, Too Rich?
What's going on? Now,
chilling, man.
This wasn't what I initially called for. Let me speak on the Canelo thing right quick. A lot of people think the fight is wide, and I'm saying it's actually not that wide, and actually Bud should be favored. And let me tell you why from a technical standpoint. If we remove Canelo's name, and we say we're moving Bud to 168, and say, hey, Bud, I got a fighter for you. He's an undersized super middleweight. He has a 30% knockout ratio in his last 10 fights. He hasn't knocked anybody out in his last 6 fights. He's flat-footed, and he's lost the step. That would be the guy you will face first when you enter the division. Just so happens that guy's name is Canelo Alvarez. And if we look at the Vegas odds, Tank versus Roach is a minus 1,700. But Crawford versus Canelo is a plus 155. Because they're saying this fight is close based on the matchup of styles. So Bud is very much in this fight, and I wouldn't doubt, just like with the Spence odds, those odds come closer and closer, and Bud might even be favored by fight time.
Okay. And if he gets put in the dirt, you will be here on the next day, right?
Hey, I'm not saying he win. I'm just saying it's a favor. If you had to pick which fighter you're going to fight at 168 first, if you didn't have a name on it, it would be Canelo. But whereas you got to understand, he's not trying to be the king of 168. He's just trying to beat Canelo. But if you say, hey, Bud, go fight William Score, that's not a good matchup. That's not a good matchup for Bud. That's not a good Benavidez. Not a good matchup for Bud. Not a good matchup. But Canelo is. It's a cherry pick. It's literally a cherry pick, and I can admit that because he would be the weakest one for Bud's style. For Bud's style, just mano and mano. Those two guys, Canelo ain't knocking shit out. You see what I'm saying? Bud's a counter puncher with a longer reach. Step back and counter him. Step back and counter him.
I don't think that shit gonna work on Canelo, but go ahead. I'm gonna tell you something, Mr. Too Rich. Most stuff you say I don't agree with, but I actually understand your logic. Like, I really understand your logic. I think it's wrong. I think it's gonna end up playing out wrong. Yeah. But you're not saying something that doesn't make sense.
And that's why I think he initially said no, it's the weight class for the reason. Then I think they looked at it and said, hold on, hey, we might could beat this guy. You see what I mean? Just based on the style. So I think that's what they saw, that, hey, we actually match up pretty well with them. And it's a tall task. We know that. It's a tall task. But, I think it's a closer fight than people think.
Hey, I think when people say Terence Crawford is a generational fighter, Two Cent in the building. I got you unmuted, 2 Cent. I think Terence Crawford is as close as you can be to a generational fighter. I think he's a really good fighter. I appreciate the skill set. I think he's a good fighter. I just think that Canelo, all the flat-footed and all this other stuff, I think people are going to be surprised when Canelo starts to walk them down and throw shots that even if they're not landing, they're having an impact. And full disclosure, right? And Jay, you and I talked about this the other day, and you know this to be true. I always said that Spence had to walk behind a high guard because I didn't think he would be able to deal with Crawford's counter punching, and that if he walked him down and got behind a high guard, he had a chance of winning. My girl 2 Cent in the building. Hold on, 2 Cent. I got you in now. I always thought that he would have a chance of winning. But I always had that as a very close fight, and I always knew that if he couldn't deal with Terence Crawford counterpunching, he was going to be in trouble. No, I have no such reservations, none with Canelo. It's a different fight, fam.
Did we not just see Bud fight Madrimov?
Oh, that don't count. If you talk to them, that don't count.
I'm gonna tell you why. If you did any research on Madrimov, you know Madrimov didn't fight his fight. Bud was waiting for him to come in there. Madrimov was stutter stepping. Well, what Madrimov showed you was this is how you fight, Bud. You can't commit to kind of. You think Arrow walked all the way in there. Madrimov said, no, I'm a stutter step. Guess who else did that? Sean Porter. So it took Bud time to catch the timing. Well, Madrimov never committed. So the reason why he did well in the fight was because he was fainting so much, but the reason why he lost the fight was because he was fucking fainting so much that he was the bigger guy. He's supposed to came in there swinging and stomping on him, but he was scared. Well, I ain't gonna say scared, but
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Real quick.
You think Canelo going to just walk in there straight ahead with no logic?
Yeah, that's the thing.
All Canelo got to do is faint to beat Crawford.
But hold on. Listen, and I real quick, Mr. Too Rich. And then I got to give it to 2 Cent because she just hopped on. Actually, no, I got to go to 203, I think. But Mr. Too Rich, I get what you're saying. It makes sense to me. However, the difference is I don't even think Canelo has to feint. Like this whole notion that you got to feint Terence Crawford to get on the inside. You don't. You just got to walk to him, man. Walk to him with your guard up. Walk to him where you're not giving him opportunities to just counter you, where he has to throw into a guard, tire him out. And once you get on the inside, that's when you throw. And I think you can whoop his ass that way. I really do. Now, let me go to 203 real quick. 203, what's going on with you, fam?
What's going on? It's your boy Tunnel Vision.
Oh, I got Tunnel in the vision. Finally somebody with some goddamn logic. What's up, Tunnel?
Yeah, that, no disrespect, but that logic that man is speaking doesn't make any sense. Just due to the fact that
none.
You can talk about the fact that Canelo hasn't been, quote, knocking out people in his last 5 or 6 fights, but the difference is that he's not knocking out people who are hydrating up to 200 pounds. You know what I mean? So that's completely different than somebody that's coming up from 154 that's going to be 168, 170 fight night. That's the weight that Terence Crawford fights at. Canelo Alvarez is cutting weight down to 168, then he's hydrating up to 190 pounds. He's going to have a good 20-pound weight advantage on Terence Crawford on that particular day. It's a completely different fight. And Terence Crawford, he's been doing these, quote, things, but he's doing them to 135-pounders, 140-pounders, 147-pounders. None of that means nothing once you get up to 168. Like Inouye, he's a monster. He's a beast. He's been doing this thing, undisputed, multiple weight classes. He takes his ass up to 135, he's getting knocked the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? He goes up against a Tank. Tank is taking him out of there. He goes up against a Pitbull. Pitbull is taking him out of there just because the size difference is too much. Pitbull's going to have 20-plus pounds on him, and anybody in here would tell you that Inouye is on a completely different level than a Pitbull Cruz. But there's nothing that he's going to be hitting a Pitbull Cruz with that's potentially going to do anything to him. So Pitbull Cruz, all he has to do is just walk him down and beat the brakes out of him because it comes to a point where size matters. If size didn't matter, like I remember the previous gentleman was talking about how, oh, you know, he was so impressed by Terence Crawford because he went up and he took on against Prescott and he knocked Prescott out. And he's like, wow, this is the thing, though. Terence Crawford weighed over 154 pounds in that fight. Terence Crawford used to melt himself down. He used to melt himself down to the point where they even showed it an episode where he was like almost fainting and dying, trying to get down to the damn weight. And then he would make weight and he would hydrate up 20 pounds. So weight clearly made a difference to him because he was melting himself down so he could be a certain size on fight night. So no, so you can't compare none of those things. You're comparing apples to moon rocks. It's a completely different fight. Even Tank, he's a great fighter. He's more skilled than anybody at 154 pounds. Tank goes up to 154 pounds against Castano. He's getting the brakes beat out of him. Okay, you don't have to be super skilled because just it comes to a point where the size difference is too much. And Terence Crawford's going to be up at 20-plus pounds. He's going to be under that night. And if he was so confident in himself as far as the weight was concerned, he would have no issue fighting somebody who's considered a lesser fighter at 168 pounds. He could fight somebody like a Pacheco. He could fight somebody like a Berlanga or Munguia. Those aren't guys that are considered really like anywhere near the same stratosphere of talent as a Terence Crawford. But he's not doing it because size matters. And y'all just too focused on the metrics as far as like height and length. The metric that's the most important is that size. Mike Tyson was small, he was short, but he was dense and he was big. You know what I mean? So no one, doesn't matter how tall or lanky they are, they come up to that weight, he's beating the brakes off of them. It matters, and everybody just keeps on just, for whatever reason, when it comes to Terence Crawford, they're closing their eyes to that. And you have to look at somebody like a Jermell Charlo. Everybody's looking at Jermell Charlo like he's some kind of soft-ass dude. Like, before that fight, no one would have said that Terence Charlo was soft. That dude was seen as a dog, sitting there, taking punches, beating the brakes out of people, was doing that for years in the deepest, toughest division that there is in boxing. The same division where Terence Crawford just went up and won by 1 round. He won a fight by 1 round at 154 pounds. And you saw when Charlo went up against that man, it was like an ant trying to punch a freaking elephant. It didn't affect that man at all. And to think that just Terence Crawford is going to move up and somehow that's going to just be completely different is to me personally, it's asinine.
Hey, real quick, ASV, real quick. No, I'm gonna give you the chance. But hold on. ASVP TV just hit us with the $1.99 Bo Charlo soft actually. For the love of money. All right, Mr. Too Rich, you can go ahead and give a rebuttal.
Okay, let me just say this. What I was talking about was on paper. If you remove the name and you was giving fighters on paper, that would be the easiest fight. Him moving up to 168 would be a trouble for any fighter at 168 would give him problems. It's 168 pounds. The key word I said, Canelo's undersized. Y'all making like he's some huge guy. He is not a huge guy. He doesn't want to fight Benavidez.
Yes, he is. What does that mean?
He doesn't want to fight Benavidez because he said Benavidez is too big. Benavidez is too big, bro. What does undersized mean? Let me say this last part. If Canelo is so weird, he's so strong and he's so this and that. I'm not talking about the fight. I understand Mayweather's a great boxer and he wanted to fight. But Canelo was able to hit Mayweather on the arms. He hit him everywhere, and Mayweather stood there. He did not get beat the fuck up because he was getting hit on his arm. So I'm just saying, it's levels to this shit. It's levels to this shit. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, you're right. There are levels to this shit. And Terence Crawford is not Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? If Terence Crawford was Mayweather, that whole entire time he would have been fighting at 147 pounds with all them fighters. Terence Crawford was fighting when Mayweather, when Shane Mosley, when Miguel Cotto, when Marquez, when Timothy Bradley, when all these dudes, when Margarito, when all these guys were fighting at 147 pounds, Terence Crawford was there too. But instead of fighting in that weight class, what's called weight class where he was, when on fight night, he was bigger than Manny. On fight night when he was fighting at 135, he was bigger than Floyd, while these guys were fighting at 147 pounds. He didn't do that because he understood there was levels to that shit, and he was melting his ass down to 135 pounds. If he was on that same level as those guys, he would have been fighting in the money division. That's where all the big fights were being made. That's where all the money was at. Was it at 147 pounds? Whether you're fighting Manny or whether you're fighting Floyd, and you had all these fighters that were at top rank at 147 that he could have been fighting, building his name up and making significantly more money. But he wasn't doing that. He was fighting at 135 and 140 pounds, melting himself down to death to make those weights. So when you're talking about the levels of shit, you're right. And by his actions, he understood that shit. And going up to 168 is a different level, and it's 20-plus pounds. If he faced those other guys, he'd be outweighed by 30-plus pounds. But by Canelo, he's still being outweighed by 20 pounds. Whether it's a female elephant that's 1,000 pounds or a male elephant that's 1,400 pounds, you're still getting stomped out.
Okay.
You don't see them. That's why they fight.
Yeah, we're going to see. I 100% agree with that. My thing is this, man. I just want people, if he goes into the dirt, I just want people to come on here and just admit it and stop acting like they're boxing experts because they got one fight right, that the guy was the damn favorite. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah,
that's the part that I can't stand.
Because I don't think the reason why he's fighting is because he thinks he can beat him, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be an opinion that obviously no one else is going to ride with, but it's just my own personal opinion. This man never said anything about fighting Canelo until after the Jamel Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez fight. And I personally believe that when he saw that fight, he's like, oh, well, if he can survive 12 rounds, I can survive 12 rounds. And I think that's why he's doing the fight. I think it's straight up just a money grab. He's getting this money, and he believes that if that dude could survive without getting flatlined and being stopped, then I can do it. I can do it too. I can do better, and you know what I'm saying. And I can keep that from happening to me. At least it going that far. And I think he's doing that because I think he and everybody else is underestimating and disrespecting how good Jamel Charlo truly is.
Hold on, guys.
Acting now like this dude is not skilled and this guy's not talented.
So, guys, the
problem is everybody just like with Ryan Garcia with Tank Davis. Tank Davis does something and everybody thinks that Ryan ain't shit until you see Devin Haney getting the brakes beat out of him. And I just think that's going to be the same type of thing.
Yeah. So, guys, I want to keep this live going, but I got to pick up my daughter. I'm going to switch to my phone. I won't be able to control anything, but I'm going to switch to my phone so that I can join back in if that's okay. Okay. I won't be able to control anything, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I
gotta go. Damn, sorry, been an hour and a half.
Yeah. You can go ahead and go, Jay. I'll keep the live going from the computer. I'll be on, but I have to drive if everybody's okay with that outside of Jason.
Oh yeah.
All right. So let me try to switch. Jay, you can go ahead and fall off. All right. I'm gonna try to switch. I'm gonna try to switch to my phone real quick. Y'all just give me a second to see if I can switch to my phone real quick. 1 second. Hold on real quick. My apologies. 1 second. I think it's still gonna work. 1 second. All right, hold on, guys. I'm leaving. Can y'all see me?
Yeah.
Can y'all see me? Can y'all see and hear me? Hello? Can y'all see me and hear me? Man, I don't know what's going on, man. It doesn't sound like y'all can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Y'all can hear me. Shit, I'm trying to get it to work on my phone. You might be hearing me from my other mic. Shit, that's not gonna work. Fuck. So y'all should be able to see my face.
Hey, Tunnel Vision, I understand exactly what you're saying. I'm just giving you a take on how they might be looking at it. We understand it's a tall task. You know, if you get put in the dirt, you get put in the dirt. But if you were moving to a new division, that's the fighter you want to fight. It doesn't say you'll win the fight, but that's the lesser of two evils.
I think the lesser the evils, if you're moving up to a weight class like that, would be to take on somebody that has like significantly less experience than like a Canelo Alvarez. I don't think so. I think fighting somebody like him is extremely dangerous. I think it actually would be probably smarter. This guy's taller, but he's not as skilled. You know, he doesn't have as much experience. Would be like a Pacheco. I think that would be smarter. Even though he's like taller and lankier, he doesn't necessarily have like the size of the other guys, and he doesn't have the same level of talent as them. So I would say somebody like a Pacheco would have made more sense. I mean,
and you will be right. Yeah, you will be right. But the problem is Turkey ain't gonna pay you $50 million to fight Pacheco.
That's true. That's true. I mean, him going up for the money. Like, so I'm not saying that he shouldn't do it. I'm saying they're gonna pay him. They're gonna pay him. So go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, obviously go and get some money. But like me, and it's not even and to me it's like it's not a Canelo thing, because if anybody's heard me speak, even when it came to someone like a Gervonta Tank Davis, I've always said people like, oh, he can go to welter. I'm like, no, he can't. He's too small. And this is a guy that is sitting out here flatlining people. This is a guy who even went to 140 pounds and stopped somebody. People start talking all that craziness like 147 pounds. I don't care who it's against. I'm like, no, like it becomes a certain point where it's too much weight. Even like we see someone like a Kell Brook when he moved up to fight against Gennady Golovkin. He was doing good. Like you could see that he was the more skilled, the more talented fighter of the two. I remember one time he even hit Gennady Golovkin with an uppercut that lifted Gennady Golovkin off his feet. A punch that a normal person, a normal size guy, should have put him out completely.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
It was just the size was too much.
Yeah. Can y'all hear me?
You're right.
So I just respect the weight classes. It's nothing. It's not even a Terence Crawford thing. I respect the weight classes. When Jamel Charlo.
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me? Okay.
Yeah. We can hear you.
Okay, just check it.
Can you hear us?
All right, perfect. Yeah, I can hear y'all now.
Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, but I got a question for y'all though. It's like, as far as Greg, can you hear it also?
Yeah, I can hear you, but give me 1 second before you answer your question.
Yeah. Yeah, and he might as well drop the belts, because I think this is going to be the last fight y'all ever going to see that dude fight again either.
Oh, he moved on to 160.
I don't think
he ain't coming back. Yeah, he ain't coming back down.
Yeah, he might as well stop holding on to that belt like he did all those belts at 147 pounds when he was never moving down to that weight class, and just drop that belt so all them other dudes can fight for that. Maybe they can put it up.
That's true. That's true, man, but a lot of people don't understand the politics, man. He's holding the belts for negotiation value. That's all. No, that's all that was. He knew he was going to drop them. I heard Bernie say they're going to drop them or they could take them. It didn't matter. He just holding them for negotiation purposes. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They're just politics.
Yeah, but there's no. You're not using. If you're going up to 168 pounds, that you holding that belt doesn't mean anything. Just like if you're at 147 pounds and you're staying at 154 pounds, you having a bunch of 47-pound belts doesn't mean anything. You can't use them for negotiations.
But let's say it like this. Say he would have dropped the belt, then the Canelo fight fell apart. He already done dropped the belt now. You see what I mean? So you got to hold on to the belt so he can secure the next thing that he's doing. You see what I'm saying? Then he can drop the belt.
Oh, no, I mean like now that he's like secured it. Kind of like...
Now, he can drop it now.
Yeah.
He can drop it.
Well, I mean, if it is, because even with this, like with as much news that people have been having, as many times as things have supposedly been official, this and that, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. You know, you don't even know what's going on just due to the fact that the same people too many times have said this is happening or that's happening and this is not happening and now this is happening. It's all coming from the same sources. So it's kind of like, even though it's from Turki Alalshikh, I'm still like, you got to wait to see. You know what I mean?
That's the point right there.
Yeah.
That's the thing that like drove me crazy about that whole situation. We're sitting up here and we're talking about Turki Alalshikh and we're talking about AM Sports Media and got this wrong or got that wrong. But dog, Turki Alalshikh is in control of the ring. He is the one that is releasing that information. And I was told specifically that they were releasing that information to try to put pressure on Canelo Alvarez.
And that's what I'm saying.
I believe it.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying is like even with them saying they got this 4-fight deal, it's set. I'm kind of waiting for them to actually have like a press conference or them that shows it, because we've yet to even have a press conference for Ryan Garcia and the Devin Haney fight that's supposed to be quote happening in New York. They have yet to even have a press conference for that. So just because of all this, I gotta wait to see if everything actually does come to fruition the way that they said it's gonna happen. But my thing with a question I've had to ask for Greg and everybody else was, when it comes to this, like with the whole Jake Paul fight, like I'm not understanding what the whole purpose was to keep Canelo Alvarez from doing that fight. Just due to the fact that you saw like a Tank Davis and you saw Ryan Garcia fight against each other, which brought this whole new demographic and dynamics from people that had never seen Gervonta Tank Davis fight before. They had this monstrous fight that did like $1.2 million. They did a huge gate, $24 million gate. And Tank usually does like he had got to like $5 million at the gate. When he went and fought against Martin, he did a $14 million gate and had like 400,000 pay-per-views, which was like a significant more amount of pay-per-views than he usually does. So I'm not understanding why he can be happy about Canelo Alvarez fighting Jake Paul with the huge gate they were going to get. If it was on pay-per-view, this is a fight that was going to do 1.5, 2 million pay-per-views. This is a fight, if it was on regular Netflix, you're looking at 10, who knows how many millions of people that would have watched it. Which then after that big event, a few months after that, you're having your event with Canelo Alvarez, where you're able to ride that wave of this huge fight that just happened and bring all these new eyes who the hell Canelo Alvarez is. They're probably now attached to him, just understanding that, hey, he's fighting now on this particular date. And then also, you're able to promote your fight with Terence Crawford basically for free on somebody else's dime through that entire time. But now instead of doing that, it's like Turkey's actually paying Canelo more money, fight in Saudi Arabia, in a smaller platform in the zone where you're going to have significantly less eyes. You're not going to have anywhere near the hype. And I feel almost like by him doing so, he's paying Canelo to basically sabotage his event and keep his event from being as big as it potentially could have been if he had let Canelo Alvarez fight Jake Paul. To me, it just personally looks like it was a bad business move.
Yeah, to me,
well, I'm gonna be a different take on it, man. You got to think about it like this. Jake Paul came into that last fight against Mike Tyson at 230. Okay, if Jake Paul and Canelo was going to fight, it was going to be at a catch weight. So if Canelo moves up in weight, no matter what that catch weight was, 200, 190, 195, he moves up and he fights that fight with Jake Paul. Then he tries to move back down in weight to fight Crawford, and Crawford wins. What is everybody going to say? It was the weight difference. It would ruin the Crawford fight and authenticity of the Crawford fight. by him moving up in weight and trying to come back down.
No one would know that it was an issue until after the fight. Just like no one knew Earl Spence was having issues until after the fight already happened. So you'd still already get your pay-per-views, and you'd still already get your gate if that was to happen.
Yeah, so real quick on that,
it would be Turki
There's a couple
Alalshikh
of
fight
things.
that will be winning anyway.
There's a couple of things with that logic. Number one, Terence Crawford doesn't give a damn about that. He doesn't give a damn about whether or not he comes in.
I'm talking about Turki. I'm talking about Turki, not Crawford.
Turki doesn't give a shit if he comes in peak condition. All he needs is the actual fucking revenue from the fight. He doesn't give a shit about that. So I don't believe they cared about that at all. I think it was about control. Let me take. You know what? I'm not gonna go there. I would say this: if Canelo Alvarez, I got to be careful with my words. If Canelo Alvarez had gone down the Jake Paul fight, going down that avenue, there was potential for him to never return to that whole Riyadh situation. I'll just say that. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
And so Turki went and did what he needed to do in order to solidify that fight. And I mentioned it earlier. I talked to two separate people, and we all said the same thing. And I kind of broke it down to them from an economic standpoint, and they agreed. Turki Alalshikh needed that fight because they got to start. When you start any kind of venture, you lose, then you break even, then you make a profit. He's been losing. He got to start getting towards breaking even, and Canelo Alvarez can assist in that. So he needed that fight, and that's the reason why I put in the Discord. Like, I think that fight is not dead because he is going to need that fight, and he's going to become more aggressive, trying to attain the services of Canelo Alvarez.
Well, look, check this out, Greg, because this is why I originally called in for this conversation. It's almost like.
Hold on, real quick, guys. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, how's the Friday rant?
Yeah.
The Friday rant is going well. It's still going, and I'm on my way to go get. Yes, I'm on my way to go get Ava.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
Okay. Sorry. One question. On your way back, can you stop and get McDonald's?
Yeah, I'll grab some. Just the nuggets.
Oh, just they only need it for tonight. So ask Ava what she wants. If she wants nuggets or a cheeseburger, because it's just for tonight.
All right.
But I'll send Aubrey's order.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Sorry about that, guys. Family stuff.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, look, Greg, where I originally called in from. What I think the issue is that, on YouTube, we're kind of like investigators. We're trying to figure out, how this thing is working, okay? We have a certain amount of knowledge, right? And then the other level is where the actual knowledge is. So it's a gap right there. So everybody know anything about trade and anything, the market always feels the gap. Well, right here, we got a gap in knowledge of how things really work. So when we look at Turki, we try to place him into the place of what we know, which is PBC, Top Rank, how they do shows, make money, and stuff like that. And we're trying to bring him down to work into that knowledge area of what we understand, instead of really understanding how does it work when you have billions of dollars. Do you really need to turn a profit right now? So here's my evidence for this, so you can go look it up, Greg. We're gonna go back 1 year, 2024, June 2024, New York Times. Let's see how they look at it versus how the YouTube verse look at it. The headline says Saudi Arabia's next $1 billion sports play, a boxing takeover. Okay, so that's how they coming. All right, so it says Saudi Arabia already launched a hostile takeover of professional golf. It has invested billions of dollars into soccer, and now it wants its own professional boxing too. Now we move down a little bit. Saudi Arabia's giant sovereign wealth vehicle, the PIF fund, is holding mind you, this last year now, is holding final negotiations about dispersing, that key word, that dispersing the initial investment, said to be as much as $2 billion. So they're dispersing the initial investment. Now, I'm just going to go on down to the end. I can tell you what their plan is. Their plan is, under the Saudi proposal, about 200 of the top men boxers in the world will be signed and then divided into 12 weight classes in what would amount to a global boxing league. So that's the end game. That's the end game. So we're just we're already into it. Cause they did this last year. That's New York Times, June of last year, and so we're into it. We're watching them play. So I'm just saying they don't need no profit, man. If I didn't read the part where they got 700 billion in some other fund, they don't need the profit. They're taking it over. This is a hostile takeover of boxing.
No, it isn't. No, they need to make a profit.
Can I reply to that?
No one spends money. No one spends, even though regardless of how much money you're spending, how much money you're investing, at the end of the day, the plan is still to put yourself into a space where you're making a profit. I don't know whether it's a year, 2 years, 4 years, or 5 years down the line. Whatever it is, that you're doing it in order to make a profit. Saudi Arabia is invested in other things. They're invested in different companies. They buy all types of crazy amounts of money, and when it comes to stocks and things of that nature, where all types of businesses actually inside of America that they own, that they've purchased, where the end goal is to make a profit. It's not just to spend money just for the hell of it. Because if you're doing things in a way where yes, it is. When you're spending that type of money, you're doing it to make a profit. You're not going to take it over.
We're trying to put our time frame of when that profit is supposed to be made. I understand eventually they're looking to make a profit, but we're trying to fit their profit time into our time. You see what I mean? When you got billions of dollars, these are years invested. They're not per fight. It's not per fight that you're doing when you're taking over something. Let me give you another example that might speak closer to home. Every time you make your mortgage payment, you're losing money. Every time you make your mortgage, but what's the long play? That in 30 years, I will profit off of it. So you lose money every week, every month, every year until you get to the profit time. We don't understand their profit time. They got time. They got plenty of time. That's all I'm saying. Yes, the goal is to make profit. First, we got to take it over.
Yeah, but you got to understand too. When you're trying to take it over, you got to look at the business that you're working in. Like when it comes to something like boxing, there've been a lot like taking over boxing. That's not something that's new. There've been other entities that have also tried to come into boxing and take over boxing. You have to look at history and just not think that I'm going to spend all this money and I'm just going to somehow take over boxing. You have to look and see what other people have done in the past and if it's worked or not. They're using the same method as other people have used in the past. They're just putting in a shitload more money. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're using it's almost like you're doing something that everybody's seen that hasn't worked in the past, but somehow you think that if I could throw more money at it, that somehow it's going to work. And so that's why we look at to see like, okay, are they going to make profits off of this? Because when it comes to something like boxing, you're taking these entities that are already known, where you have another organization, like let's say a PBC, that are able to take these same entities, put them into a space where they're able to pay them a certain amount of money, put on an event, and make a profit off of it. They're able to do that right now with the exact same pieces that this person has available to him. So when he's able to have these pieces, put them together, throw on an event, and not make profits off of it, that is a concern. And especially when it's happening over and over again, and now you're getting deeper and deeper and deeper into it, you're not affecting these other people. You have certain people that are still there doing their thing that are also involved in boxing, and like, yeah, you're spending all this money, but you're not taking over their business. You're not hurting their business because they're profit-based, and they're still in the green every single year. So it's like, if you're not able to, quote, take over the boxing, they're going to stop doing what they're doing. They're going to
real quick. Let me piggyback off that because Mr. Too Rich, I hear what you're saying, but there's a couple of things that about that article that just doesn't make sense to me. Number one, Saudi Arabia is willing to invest billions in boxing. I would argue that boxing is not worth billions. So my guess is that that's probably an exaggeration. But I agree with what Tunnel Vision is saying. Yes, we do not know exactly what their strategy is, and I've admitted that. We do not know exactly what their timeline is. I've admitted that. But I've also talked to you about you lose money, then you need to get to break even, then you need to start to turn a profit, right? My guess is boxing in and of itself, if you just look at it being a niche sport, it does not have enough revenue in it, top line, to suggest that it should be that you should invest billions of dollars in it. Like, and I'm going to give you an example of this, man. And I'm not trying to sound conceited or anything like that, but people, when you guys hear billions of dollars, you become enamored with that number, right? I work in billion-dollar companies, so I'm not as enamored by hearing the number billions. It doesn't matter if it's hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, or billions. It all operates the same. Gotta make a profit. And it's all about payback. And if they are smart, they have a time horizon of anywhere between 1 to 3 years for that venture to have a payback. Or the venture doesn't make sense cash-wise. So, with that being said, I struggle to believe that they're investing billions, or their plan is to invest billions into boxing. And already they've had the opportunity to see what the top line sales look like from a boxing event, which suggests to me that even if they did, the strategy has probably changed because they now realize the pie isn't that big.
Okay, well, check this out, Greg. You do. Let me say that you do financing, right? So let's say you know it's not hard to figure out about boxing, how it works with the budget and all that, what you need to put on a fight. So if you understand what that budget is to put on a fight, and then you have a client come to you, well, he wants to put on a fight, but he's gonna far exceed that budget that you know that you're not gonna make no money back, and he doesn't care. You can't say he's doing it for profit. He far exceeded what it would take to make profit. So he has a different plan. Because we don't understand the plan. No, we bottle his plan down to what we understand. What we need to understand is what is he trying to do. Because look, in the street, if a dude want to take on the market, they don't take it on trying to outsell the next dealer on the block. You flood the block. You're not operating on their timeline. You flood it. You drop the blue magic and you take it over. You'll get the profit later. It's all for profit, but we got to take it over first. And if we look at the landscape, we see Al Heyman's the only one left out there. It's the only one left out there. We're going to take it over first, and then we'll terraform it. We'll start to bring in the league. We'll start to centralize it. We'll start to get rid of all the sanctioning bodies down to one belt. We'll do just like what UFC do. And in time, it will be terraformed, and you'll have a new boxing atmosphere.
I get everything you're saying, but let me use your example. Let me use your example. So I know a guy that's coming in right now, and he's willing to pay far more than what I know he should be paying. So he's trying to flood the market. That is not a new strategy. Like that's not even a new strategy within boxing, right? So he's trying to flood the market with money because he thinks money is going to be the solve for actually taking over the sport, right? That's essentially what Tunnel Vision was talking about. Okay, you flood the market. That's great. You flooded the market with money. But here's the deal. You get in there and you flood the market with money on that fight because you believe that you are going to take a loss of only, I'm just going to use this as an example, $3 million. Yeah, if I go in here and I throw so-and-so at it, they'll make way more money than they ever made, and I'll only lose 3. You go into the situation and find out, bro, you lost 10. Oh, the calculus changed once the math starts to work. When the math starts mathing, the calculus changed. Now you go in there, you do it again. Oh, on this one, I'm only going to lose 4. And you lose 15, oh, the calculus starts to change and the conversations start to change. I have not seen an entity, a person, or anything of the sort that goes into a situation believing that they can just continuously lose money. And right now, Turki Alalshikh has been in the game for over a year. I know it feels like he ain't been around very long.
Over 2 years. But
they've been in the game for like at least 15 months. And I guarantee you everything they've done has been a loss. How long can they do it? That's the point. Before somebody's like, hey, this doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, but the thing is that when you're talking about what his plan is, it's not necessarily quite about his plan. Like even when you made the whole analogy, like when it came to hustling, it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is that this is not Turki Alalshikh's money. It'd be different if it was his money. Then it'd be like, yeah, what is, quote, his plan? But if you talk about hustling, it's like me being in Nicaragua and me sending one of my men, one of my lieutenants to Miami and telling him, hey, yo, take over this. So that he's flooding the market, this and that, and people are still making moves, still making money. He's not still turning a profit. He's taking losses and losses and losses and losses. What usually happens is eventually I'm gonna be like, yo, why are we still taking losses over there? We should have been turning a profit by now. We should be making money. Like, why are all these blocks still not under our control? And they usually will then pull that person out and probably then, quote, bring somebody else in or make a completely different plan. You know what I mean? So you're making the assumption. This fund is not just, quote, for boxing. It's for all those sports in general. So, and you said initial funding. So once the initial funding is done, you're making the assumption that they're going to give him more money for the boxing. They might say, hey, this, and this is working. Tennis is working. Soccer is working. But the boxing isn't working, and the cricket isn't working. And they might decide that we're going to stop funding the boxing and the cricket. You're making the assumption that they're going to just continue funding the boxing. You know what I'm saying? And like when he said with the whole with the $1 billion things, whatever, we've heard that before. We've heard the whole $1 billion thing with DAZN. DAZN had billions of dollars to spend on boxing as well. They couldn't take over. They tried to blackball certain people. It didn't work out, and they ended up adjusting and changing their strategies. When's the last time there's been a fight on DAZN where the headliner has made $5 million that was a Turki Alalshikh show? Think about that. When's the last time forget the 15, 20 he used to make. When's the last time somebody that's been on DAZN as a headliner, especially in America, that's made $5 million on a show that wasn't by Turki? And on top of that, he doesn't have all these people under control. You keep on saying that everybody's on board. Everybody's not on board. Eddie Hearn still has his own thing with DAZN. Okay? Top Rank still has their own thing with ESPN, and they're looking at getting a deal with somebody else. They're not all just under Turki. They have finances coming from other people. So he's not taking over anything. And they still do their own shows all the time, on DAZN, on ESPN. Frank Warren still has his own thing where now he has a deal not with Turki, he has a deal with DAZN where he's going to be doing shows on DAZN. So they still are connecting themselves, attaching themselves to other entities. He doesn't have control of anything. They're just taking his money for the shows. They're taking it while it's still here.
Okay, well, let's add something else into it. I don't want to get a source because I want to do my own video on this, but I'm just going to read something. This referring to his $25 price for this ticket versus the $80 that they charged me for the Roach fight, Tank Roach fight. It says the term predatory pricing. So remember that, predatory. Let's get over your predatory lending. So we're talking predatory pricing refers to the business practice of setting prices extremely low. And what's the reason? An attempt to eliminate the competition and establish a monopoly.
We understand.
So now it goes on to say predatory pricing may or may not be the reason why Saudi Arabia is charging them out.
This ain't Walmart. You're talking about two things that don't go together whatsoever. You can take cars and you can make it. Think about it. We're talking about boxing. Tank Davis is about to do a $10+ million gate in New York right now for the Roach fight. What's it called? The Tank Davis versus Roach fight is going to blow that that other card that's happening on February out the water when it comes to revenue with their $25 book price. They're charging you $25 for a card that no one's going to watch that shit if it was fucking free. The reason why they're dropping that shit down is because no one would buy it at $80-something. So they're hoping that they can still make some kind of revenue by dropping the price. They're not being dropping the price of that card is not going to make people not want to buy Gervonta Tank Davis. It's like saying I'm going to make this car really, really, really cheap, and because I'm making this car really, really cheap, I'm going to people are going to stop buying Ferraris. Because I got this Corvette that's 1,000 horsepower that can handle, that I'm only charging for $100,000. Somehow now people are going to stop buying Ferraris for $300,000, $400,000. This ain't Walmart, man. You know what I'm saying? People are still going to buy that. People they like watching tank fights. They're going to buy those fights. David Benavidez, with the price point, probably did a $7 million+ gate out in Vegas. 19,000 people. No one's going to be at that fight over there, what's it called, in Saudi Arabia. No one is buying that fight. When it comes to the pay-per-views, they're not gonna make no real money off of that fight. They're not.
Okay.
So that way of that business model doesn't work when it comes to boxing. It doesn't. If people like a fight, they're gonna buy it.
I understand what you're saying, but I want you to kind of listen a little bit and to say the plan was eliminate the competition. You keep talking profit. It said the job is to eliminate competition, establish a monopoly. I'm not saying that they're going to do it in one fight. That's like how y'all looking at winning fight for fight. We're talking about over time now. As much as we can brag about how much money Tank gonna make it this fight, this and that. When they sell the fight in the UK, they're gonna sell it for $20. They're gonna sell that fight for $20. They're gonna give it away for free in Mexico. They're gonna give it away for free in Mexico. So they only harvesting money from us.
PBC already does that.
The money from us.
PBC already did that. PBC was already having it free in Mexico. He's not doing anything that's new or revolutionary. It's already been free in Mexico. Actually, if you're close to if you want the David Benavidez fight, actually, if you're close to the border where you could get the signal, you're able to get that fight for free. It's always been free in Mexico. Depending on the market, it's going to be different pricing. That's always been the case. And when you have that, and I promise you this, I'm gonna tell you, you're going to see how bullshit what they were saying was. You're going to see it. Okay, I promise you. No, listen. Hey. I promise you, when Canelo Alvarez fights against Terence Crawford, that shit is not going to be $25. I'll put money on it. Okay.
It won't be $25. I agree with that. It will not be $25 because
$5,000 tomorrow. If you want to bet, we can bet $5,000 tomorrow that fight is not $25. If you want
it will not be $25, and the reason why it won't be $25 is because they signed Canelo Alvarez specifically for that.
Give me information. I'll send him $5,000, and you send him $5,000
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Let me say this last thing.
If you believe it,
you're talking so.
Do you want to do that bet?
And you taking
do you want to do that bet? Do you want to put your money against what you're seeing? Do you want to put your money to back up what you're saying?
All right, go ahead, man.
Do you want to put your money up to back up what you're saying?
All right, internet gangster, internet millionaire. All right, internet millionaire. All right, you're getting emotional, bro. You ain't got to get emotional. I promise you what I say ain't going to hurt. It ain't going to hurt you a bit. So understand that the same thing you talking hard against Turkey on, this is what they accuse Al-Haymon on. Now you praising him like he a god. When he got there in 2015, they said the same thing about him. Now you praising him. Now he got.
What are you talking about?
He did the same thing.
All I'm talking about is the pay-per-view.
He established a monopoly. He came in and paid all the fighters high.
Al-Haymon did not have a monopoly.
No, he didn't.
What are you talking
about?
Al-Haymon has never had a monopoly.
PBC did not set up a monopoly. You still had Top Rank, you had Golden Boy, you had Great Duva, you had multiple people. You had multiple people in HBO. He did not have a monopoly. Turkey doesn't have a monopoly.
Al-Haymon wasn't a monopoly.
Turkey doesn't have Matchroom. Turkey doesn't have Matchroom. Turkey doesn't have Top Rank. Turkey doesn't have a monopoly. Turkey has certain events that he puts on where people send their fighters to fight on his card. But he doesn't have a monopoly.
Listen, I'll say this, Mr. Too Rich, and this is where I think you have a point. Your point in that we don't know what their overall strategy is fair. The point of what, there's a gap of information, that's all fair. But I would say that myself and Tunnel Vision also have a point in that all these things are practices that have been around for centuries. Like what you are reading is nothing brand new. Undercutting prices to try to kill competition is not new. None of that is new. So right now he's been around for 15 months, and at this point he has not purchased not one of those promotional companies. He has an agreement with them to fund fights, but if you got the money that you say you got, right? You're talking about a global, and I want you to think about this for a minute before you answer, right? You have sat up here and talked about they got billions of dollars that they are willing to invest, and you have talked about what their strategy is in terms of taking over boxing. Mr. Too Rich, why do you need to do that when you are willing to invest billions with an S, with a B and an S on the end? if you are willing to invest billions of dollars to just take over boxing, just go and buy them all out. Like we've already seen how much each one of them. They actually estimated how much Golden Boy is worth, how much PBC is worth, how much Matchroom is worth. Dog, all of them together are probably like $2 billion. So why not just buy them straight up and just take over boxing? You don't need to undercut prices. You don't need to do X. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. You don't need to play this game and that game. You got billions that you're willing to invest. You already know what your strategy is. You're gonna set up this 12 weight class boxing league. Why do all that? Just buy them all up. You're done. Make that make sense, bro.
Hey, like I told, okay, I'm gonna challenge y'all to do this. I'm gonna be quiet. I just want to ask a question. Let's flip it. What would you do if you wanted to take over boxing?
Buy them all up if I had the money, like you said that they got.
So it
just buy them. Why am I gonna play games? I got the money. I'm just gonna buy them.
Totally selling out yet, but doesn't it seem like that's what they're trying to do?
No. Listen, everything is for a price, right? So if
I remember somebody said, "Oh, he's buying out the block." He's not buying out the block. He's renting the block. Like
that's exactly what he's doing. He's just renting the block.
When he has certain shows, he's renting out the fighters. He's leasing. He's leasing. He's spending his money to lease, not to buy.
That's exactly
he's
right.
leasing the fighters from these promoters, using them in the shows. Then they go back to those promoters. He still doesn't even keep control of these fighters. He's giving them, he leases them, gives them money, gives them the promoters money, and then they go back to the promoters. It's like the perfect thing for the promoters. It's like this dumbass is going to give me tens of millions of dollars for myself. He uses my fighter for millions of dollars. Then I get to still keep that product at the end of the day. And he still doesn't own shit.
Right.
The dude doesn't own it. He's spending a lot of money,
take it over.
but he doesn't own anything.
Just purchase it.
He doesn't own
nothing. Hold on, guys. They said PBC was only worth.
If we go back before, let's say before Errol Spence Crawford, if we go back before then, how many times did we mention Saudi Arabia in the years before Crawford Spence? How many times did we mention it? Now, with his investment, all we talk about is Saudi Arabia.
But hold on, bro. Hold on. That's
fine. It has nothing to do with him having control. What does that mean? What does that mean?
That's his point. He's getting attention for Saudi Arabia.
Before we used to never talk about the zone. We talk about the zone all the time. And
Mr. Too Rich, that's fine.
They still didn't. Their plan of taking over boxing and having full control of boxing with their billions of dollars and us talking about the zone all the time never happened. So us talking about Saudi Arabia, the goal isn't for us to talk about Saudi Arabia a lot. The goal was supposed to take over boxing, right? Not to talk about Saudi Arabia a lot.
So they didn't say they wanted to bring attention to Saudi Arabia. You never heard that, right? You never heard
Nobody's
that.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. You just read an article. That talked about what their strategy is.
Do people travel to Dubai?
Not to Saudi Arabia.
But they travel
not
to Dubai.
Saudi Arabia.
Dubai had an advertisement for people to travel to Dubai, right?
That's fine, but hold on.
I mean,
Mr. Too Rich, come on, man. I can't let you get away with that. You changing your argument. You just read an article talking about that they were there to take over boxing. That they have a strategy where they're looking to take over boxing, create a global league where they're willing to spend $2 billion. It wasn't about, hey, we're here trying to promote Saudi Arabia. So now you're switching your subject.
Okay,
man.
Let me give you one
hold on. Let me finish. Mr. Too Rich, hold on real quick. Let me finish. Hold on. Let me finish.
So let me give you a strategy that we had when I was into the music game. Okay, I got an artist, right? Okay, I got my manager. You know, he was ex-NFL. And, you know, he had the budget. He said, okay, we're going to promote this artist. But this, in my mind, promoting the artist was making CD covers and making flyers and doing shit like that. He said, no, we're going to promote this artist. I'm going to show you how. And she's going to make money in the process. So what he did is make a 30-city tour just on the Chitlin circuit. You know, all the backwood place from Alabama. I've been from Georgia to Mississippi somewhere. You know, just little rental club. He said we got a $50,000 budget. He said I'm gonna rent out all the clubs. You know, on this. He said we're gonna make some money, and on some places we're gonna lose some money. On some places we're gonna break even. But I'm gonna pay you X amount of money to go. I'm gonna pay her X amount. Nobody knows her. I'm gonna pay her $500 a show. So she'll make at that time whatever it was, $15,000 in 6 weeks, and we're gonna advertise her. So she made money, I made money.
Okay.
And at the end of the tour, he only made $30,000 back. So I said, well, damn, we lost money. He said, no, I just spent $20,000 to advertise it. That's all. Instead of me spending $50,000 to advertise, I only spent $20,000. So it's different strategies, bro. It's different strategies on how you get the product out there. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of investment has to be made first to make us start. All these promoters are not turning profit on these fights.
Okay, Mr. Turich, I heard what you said. Now let me respond to that. The problem with what you're saying is you're comparing apples to oranges, because you're talking about a guy that came in that wanted to invest in your business or your artist or whatever, right? That's perfectly fine. His strategy was to advertise. You just told me that their strategy was to take over boxing, not to advertise. So if your strategy is to take over boxing and you got the resources, using your example, you're the guy that's coming in and he doesn't want to advertise. He wants to take over your record company. So why would he do, hey, I'm going to pay for this show, I'm going to pay for this, I'm going to do for this, da, da, da. I'm just going to come in and say, Mr. Too Rich, I believe that your company is worth $150,000. I'm going to pay you $250,000 so that you can sell it to me, because I have all the resources in the world to actually buy your company, and I can just keep bidding it up until I get it. Why would I fool around with all the stuff that you're talking about when my goal is to actually own your business? Why would I do that? And you told me the goal was to own the business. You told me that, not to advertise, to own. So why am I going down the path of doing all of that?
Even something small as Golden Boy. I could understand
hold on. They said that PBC. They said that PBC was only worth $600 million.
Anything.
If PBC is only worth $600 million, go to Al Heyman when you got this $1 billion budget. Go to Al Heyman and offer him $900 million for PBC and just buy it and be done.
Greg, actually take this. Actually, it's perfect, Greg. There was somebody, right? There's a sport called MMA, and there's a company called the UFC that's been doing things for years and got themselves to the point where they're actually very profitable as a company. And there was a multi-billion-dollar investment fund that said, we want to take over the UFC. We want to come in big, and we want to take over MMA. So you know what they did? They went over there and they bought the damn UFC. The biggest entity with that's an MMA, because UFC is not the sport. MMA is the sport. You know what I'm saying? UFC is basically like PBC, it's like Top Rank, it's like Matchroom.
That's right.
They went and they bought that shit. They
bought WWE.
And bought that shit. And now they controlled. Now they controlled what's it called? They control that sport. They control that entity now. This dude over here that has a whole country behind him is still leasing and renting shit and giving it back to people. When this other company over here actually bought. So you would think that if the strategy is to take over boxing, they would use that format of actually buying the companies, like this other company, this other fund did, you know what I mean, in order to do that. But he's still just renting things and hasn't bought a damn thing. He owns nothing except Terence Crawford. That's it.
That's it, and that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's not how you do business. You don't
in boxing, you got a whole lot of different entities.
And he hasn't bought one.
And you just said he got billions of dollars. Their whole plan is to take over the sport.
There's more than one, though. They bought the biggest one. These dudes, they bought the biggest entity, and Turki Alalshikh hasn't even bought a small one like Golden Boy. You can't buy Golden Boy. So it's just like, what's the strategy? And like I've said it before, I'll say it again. This is what happens when you have a buddy, you have a friend, and you give him control of billions of dollars, and you give him control of a company, or a business that he's not qualified for. That nigga was a YouTuber. Now he's fucking in control of goddamn this thing, and I just don't think he knows what the hell he's doing. Because somebody else was in control of money, and they went and bought the whole damn UFC. This guy has significantly more money available to him, as they say, and he hasn't bought shit. He's still renting and leasing everything.
Yep. That's why when you say what you say, Mr. Too Rich, it doesn't make sense. That's not what a business would do. That's not what a country would do. Like, if you just want to take it over and you got the resources, you just like, oh, you know what? I want this Lexus, but instead of buying the Lexus, I got all the money now. I got the Lexus is only $80,000. I got all the money to buy the Lexus. But instead of buying the Lexus, I'm just gonna keep riding the Uber from somebody who already has a Lexus, and just have them to continuously drive me around in the Lexus instead of just outright buying the Lexus. For what? Why would I do that if I got the money to actually just buy the Lexus?
Okay, well check this out. I'm Mr. Facts included, right? So I've been kind of holding back some information. But you might could find it. I don't want to give up my source here, but you might could find it once I say this. But let you listen to something, because this is your guy. This y'all guy, okay? This is an unusual moment in the boxing business. It started promotion using what Espinoza referred to as, and in quotation marks, this Steven Espinoza, a business model different than just about anything else we've seen in boxing. A business model that seems not to factor in turning a profit has become more and more prominent and powerful. That's how Espinoza described it.
He wasn't
so
saying
you
it as a good
that's
thing.
competition. That's competition.
He wasn't
for
seeing it
them.
as a good thing. He wasn't. No, it's not competition for them because they're a profit-based company. They're setting up shows where they're able to pay fighters. They're able to get the fighters the money that they want, and at the end of the day, they're still able to churn out a profit. It's completely different. They have completely different business models. So they don't give just like the Zone was bleeding money and PBC was still a profit-based company. They don't care about what Turki Alalshikh is doing. They don't give a fuck.
I'm telling you what Espinoza saying. I'm telling you
I saw that interview. Espinoza was not saying it in a positive way.
Espinoza saying.
He was not saying it in a positive way. He was not saying it in a positive way.
There's a major transition going on, Espinoza said. In quotation marks, there's at least a couple $100 million in licensing fees that are missing from the boxing ecosystem compared to 6 or 7 years ago. So we're in a place where a lot of other parts, the media business, boxing is going to have to figure it out. There's going to be a transition period while business models are adjusted and maybe new platforms come in. So he let you know there are problems because this dude is crushing the market with this bullshit that he's doing.
He's not talking about him when he was saying that. That's not you're lying.
That's Espinoza. I'm bringing you facts. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm bringing you facts. That's what they're talking about.
No.
As you can tell,
Espinoza was changing. When Espinoza was talking about things were changing, he was talking about the fact that places like HBO, like Showtime, were no longer, investing in boxing anymore. That's what he was talking about. He was not necessarily talking about Turki Alalshikh. So he was talking about how the fact that like ESPN or whatever wasn't investing in boxing anymore, a lot of companies were going to have to adjust to that. He wasn't talking about. He wasn't talking necessarily about Turki like that. He was talking about. He wasn't talking about Turki taking over because a lot of these companies aren't profit based. A lot of these companies aren't profit-based companies. A lot of them got used to getting licensing fees from from like a ESPN or like a HBO, taking a certain portion, putting in their pocket, taking the other portion, paying the fighters, and then taking a loss on the event. That's what Matchroom mostly does. That's what Top Rank mostly does. That's what they're used to doing. PBC was also getting licensing fees, but they have a shitload of events that actually churn a profit. They were actually the only company that actually was in the green that actually turned a profit. They're able to do that, pay their fighters, and still do 19,000, theaters, and still make money and still pay their fighters. They're working a completely different model, and that's what he's talking about. People are going to have to adjust when it comes to that, because he wasn't necessarily talking about Turki like that. In that, he did talk about Turki, but in that piece, He was talking about how these certain entities like ESPN, like Showtime, like HBO aren't there anymore as far as the money they were putting in there. So people are having to adjust to that. And then he talked about people like Turki, yes, other people putting money into the market as well. Not about taking over.
Okay, let me get. Y'all making me get.
Anybody, y'all can go listen to that. To what he said. Y'all can go listen to what he actually said.
This ain't from what he said. It's not gonna hurt. I promise. Just listen for 1 second, so you can really know what's going on and how they're thinking. But during this period, this quotation mark. But during this period, in order for sports to continue, there's got to be an alternate source of funds. This is what Ezra knows. You talk about it doing so good. He's saying we need alternate sources of funds. The alternate source of funds is pay-per-view. If there's not a network or a streamer paying for your fight, you've got to pay for them somehow. You're bragging, they're worried. That's the missing of information. That's a gap. There's a gap right there. And what you're saying and what they're saying. You need to listen to them, not listen to you. I'm not giving you an opinion.
He did not sound worried.
I'm reading.
I listened to him. He did not sound worried. I remember seeing that interview. He did not sound worried. He was just talking about the transition that was being made. Like, hey, why don't you only have this amount of fights this year? Because of the transition that they were going through. Because these entities weren't there anymore. With them, what they're doing with Amazon, when they went to Amazon didn't have a production company, didn't have anything as pertains to that. So PBC actually built up an entire production company. Like when you see all this stuff being filmed, you see when they have the pay-per-view events and their shows, whatever, when you see that crew that's doing everything with the cameras, that's PBC's. That's not even Amazon's. That's PBC's production crew. When you see the shoulder programming that's being done for these different events, that's PBC's production crew. When you see all the commercials that's being done, that's PBC's production crew. They had to build a whole production crew for that. When you see the people who are actually on the mics, that's PBC's. So that's something different than before. Before it was just, pick and play. You signed with a Showtime, with an HBO. You just went over there, boom, boom, boom. Everything was already set up for you to go. Where they actually were building everything from the ground up. And that's what he was talking about. Like, hey, when Showtime first started, when HBO first started, this is what they had to go through. This is the steps that they had to take. And he was talking about how they're taking those same steps. That's what he was talking about.
I got you. Okay, let me get my closing statement. I got to get out. Greg, you still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening.
Greg still here? All right, well, look, Greg, I ain't going to lie. I'm not set up to make videos right now. Maybe it's something that you can do pretty good, but the article is on Boxing Scene January 25th. So it's very recent, and you can read the article for yourself and see what Steven is. So I think he was very fair. He basically said, hey, we're not trying to steal from people, but we got to pay for the fights. He said it with quotation marks, not me, Boxing Scene, January 25th. All right, man, appreciate y'all. Let me come up, man. I'm going to get out of here.
Oh, real quick, Mr. Too Rich, before you get out of here, if you need help getting set up, man, just hit me up, dog. I'll help you get set up.
Yeah. That's great. Okay. That's what I do. I really do need some advice, man. So I'll touch base with you and we'll get together.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not back home yet to end the stream, so I'll continue to talk. But that you still there, Tunnel Vision?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. So I think the gap in his logic. And I get where he was trying to go, but the gap in the logic is you've already revealed what the strategy is, and the strategy is to simply take over boxing. And if you have access to the resources that everybody that is a fan of his, for whatever reason, say you do, then it is just a matter of going and making offers to each one of these individual entities and purchasing them. We've seen what these entities are valued at. They say PBC is only valued at $600 million. Go offer them $800 million and buy it.
Give them $1 billion.
That makes sense.
Get them out of there.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, because
you got built.
Like I have no problem with people having opinions when it comes to things. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But when somebody puts something in front of your face and it's kind of completely like shredding your philosophy on something. For you to just ignore that and then just try to go to something else, I don't like that. Because like, like sometimes I could say something to you, like, because we disagree with like stuff, where I might say something, you're gonna come back to me, even if I don't agree with you, it makes sense what you're saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't agree with you, but what you're making, but this, when you're saying something and what you're saying doesn't make sense, pertaining to how they're doing something, you can't just like close your eyes to that. Like, I think that's where the problem is. Like, you just can't close your eyes to that. Like, I could understand somebody even thinking that Terence Crawford can beat Canelo Alvarez. But if I'm hitting you with facts as far as just like the weight and the issues, you could be like, yeah, you can't just completely just ignore that and act like that just doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, you're saying somebody's taking, their job is to take over. And I'm telling you, dude, they don't own anything. They're leasing all these fighters. They're not buying. There's this other entity over there that wanted to take over the UFC, wanted to take over MMA, and they bought the UFC. So if you're taking over, why are you leasing and renting things? Where these people are able to send their fighters over there, they utilize the fighters, and they're able to go back and these people still have control of the fighters. Like, that just completely throws your logic completely out the window. So for then you just sit there and just ignore that, that's like, that part I don't understand. Like, how you just like, no, because this is what was happening with the zone. Like, with this, I was like, dude, we've seen this before. Like, we've seen it before. He's not doing anything that's different than we've seen other people try and attempt to do. And it didn't work. All he's doing is just throwing more money at it. He's throwing more money at a way of doing things that has proven not to work. And to make it even worse, he's utilizing the entities that failed. That's the crazy part. The people had billions of dollars that failed are the same people he's now utilizing their fighters and utilizing pretty much the same type of strategy, but just throwing more money at it with the same people, but somehow thinking that they're going to come up with a different result.
Yeah, that's always been,
that's the part that doesn't make any sense to me. And he's also wrong with those funds when they've spent money on certain things, and even with Turki Alalshikh, he spent a whole lot of money on a soccer team. After a couple of years of throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at it, it didn't work. You know what he did? He bounced. So he has a history of leaving also when things don't work.
The soccer thing I was actually unfamiliar with. Hold on real quick. Greg.
What can I get for you, Greg?
Ava, what are you getting? Let me get a number one with cheese, and then also let me get kids chicken nugget meal.
And what to drink with the Chick-fil-A meal?
Y'all really out here ordering.
Right. And the kids meal?
Sprite again.
Gotcha. Anything else?
No, that's it.
It'll be $16.42. Would you like any sauce?
No, we're good on the sauce. Here you go.
Wonderful day.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Hey man, sorry, family time. But no, so I didn't know about the whole soccer thing, but my thing is, it's just, and this is the part that I just have a real issue with. And to your point, I've seen you in our comment section where you didn't agree with something that I said and you got a different take on it. I respect logic, right? Logic is always going to rule supreme in my mind, right? And to your point, although your logic, like you're saying something that I hear your logic and I'm like, I don't agree with it because my logic is this. I understand how you get to your point. The part where I struggled with what Mr. Too Rich was saying was the initial strategy that he was talking about, the takeover that this guy is gonna accomplish. This is their strategy. They have allocated and earmarked billions of dollars of resources to taking over boxing. To me, number one, that just didn't make any sense because I don't think boxing is worth billions of dollars. But number two, if you are allocating billions of dollars, for Greg, if you're allocating billions of dollars, then why not simply, thank you.
Sorry.
No problem. Then why not just simply buy it? Be done with it, buy it. Why would you play this game? This game makes no sense. So that's my issue with what he's saying. Like he's right when he says there's a gap in information, but we just don't know what the gap is. The gap for me is I keep hearing that they got billions of dollars allocated towards this, and they're going to take over boxing, and they're doing this and they're doing that. Why haven't they done it yet? And when you look at these other countries, they've all these countries that have surpluses, they've all diversified their economy. None of them diversify their economy into things that don't make money. And I don't know why they can't wrap their minds around
that. And even with their strategies, it's not like, even with their strategies, if you see, like with all the fights that you're supposed to be taking over boxing, right? Yet now, pretty much 99, pretty much since you know the Saudi prince said that they already adjusted it, saying that, hey, all this spending of all this money outside of the country, for the most part, needs to stop, and all the money that's being spent now needs to be pretty much spent in Saudi Arabia, where it can actually help Saudi Arabia and help the citizens. That's basically what he did, and since then, every single UFC and every single Riyadh card has been in Saudi Arabia. Not a single one has been outside of Saudi Arabia. Even with the Canelo deal, like 3 of the fights are going to be in Saudi Arabia. One supposedly supposed to, quote, be in Vegas. I'm still trying to figure out how that's going to work. If that's going to be an actual Riyadh season thing, or is it going to be a situation where he's getting funding for that, like he did for the fight that's supposed to happen in New York? Because the New York one's not a Riyadh season card. That one is a Turki Alalshikh Ring Magazine card that he got some video game as a sponsor. That's what that is. So the strategy is already adjusting and changing. So it's kind of like, so how are you going to take over if 99.9% of your fights are all going to be in Saudi Arabia in the middle of the afternoon? How are you going to affect these other markets out there? It doesn't make sense to me at all. You know what I mean?
No, I can't wrap my mind around it either. It doesn't make sense to me either. And that has always been the problem for me with what they're doing. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, yeah, because you can have different strategies, you can have whatever, but it's like, man, I've been watching boxing for a long time, and I've seen different people come up, and I've seen the different things that they've done. I've seen the things that work, I've seen the things that don't work. You know what I mean? Now, I've seen it, and so I'm looking at what he's doing. Like with Turki Alalshikh, I could have understood if it was a situation where he was like, you know what, you guys are taking too long to make fights. You don't need to wait that long. And he's like, I'm going to show you that you don't need to wait long by taking this money, and I'm going to put the money up for these fights. Then he puts the money up for the fights, and they end up doing like crazy pay-per-view numbers. They end up doing crazy gates where he's churning a profit, like fight after fight after fight after fight. Then that would have been like, oh shit! Especially if he was able to cut the price down, $25.99, and he does 2 million pay-per-views. So he's blowing all these people out the water. Then that could make sense. I'm like, okay, I see the strategy here. You know, okay, yeah, you're going to force these people to put the pay-per-view numbers down. But, okay, yeah, he's putting pay-per-view numbers down, but they still aren't selling shit. You're putting up these cards, but people are still not hyped up about it. Think about what we've been talking about all week. All week we've been talking about the whole Terence Crawford and the Canelo thing and what's happening with that. Not a single person has been talking about this card that's happening in 2 weeks. The card that's supposed to be the biggest card in the history of boxing. Before that, we were talking about Tank for weeks. They had a whole press conference, yet the only thing people were talking about was Tank. It was Tank. And
that's the reason. And let me tell you something. I think that's the reason why. And the reason why I went into the Discord and I said, you know what? The Crawford fight is I think it can be resurrected. And it was because of that. Like, as they have put on all these quote unquote best cards in history, and none of them has had any bit of buzz. You've had undisputed at light heavyweight. You've had undisputed at heavyweight. None of it, don't get me wrong, I'm watching it, but none of it moved the needle in terms of boxing. I felt that he needed Canelo because he needed a draw, because they got to start getting to a point where they're heading towards breaking even. And again, and this is no knock to anybody, because I know, like, for me, if you were to start this, go down the path of talking about like medicine, I would be completely lost. That's not my realm. I just think people don't have a lot of business acumen because they haven't, you know, they haven't ran a business. They're not in business, and so they don't quite process. All they process is make a fight. You need to make the best fights. He got all the money, and not that every entity needs to be self-sustained. And Riyadh and Saudi Arabia is absolutely no different. They got to be self-sustained, and I think Canelo was a grab to try to move towards being self-sustained, because if it's not self-sustained after a bit, like in the next 24 months, we'll know a lot about what Turkey's going to actually be in boxing. I'll say that, because if he continuously loses money, my guess is they're going to pull the plug on all this boxing stuff.
Yeah, me too. And like, you know me, I'm really big when it comes. If you're in something, I'm really big when it comes to history. Like, before I do anything, especially how did it work out with this person? What was done? What plans worked out for people and which plans didn't work out for people? You know what I'm saying? So I can keep myself from making those same mistakes and tripping over myself. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like to do. I don't let my emotions, even with the thing, like he's saying, that he wants to look at that as a situation where he can start getting to a space where he's making a profit. This is the problem. History says otherwise. When you saw history and you saw when Canelo Alvarez was working with DAZN, they paid him a boatload of money also. They were paying him like $35 million a fight, you know? And this is nothing compared to what Turkey's paying. They weren't turning a profit. It was still when it came to all of his fights. When he went from, for whatever reason, I don't know what this is. I don't know. For whatever reason, whenever he would go ahead. Well, go ahead.
No, I was saying, and DAZN had to file a lawsuit against him. Don't be surprised if you see something similar, because
that's the thing, though.
You got to fight the people that they want you to fight, and once DAZN got down that path of like, oh my God, like we just keep losing money. You have to fight somebody we can make money off of. That their philosophy, to your point, was to just simply throw money at it.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't work.
And Canelo was the same thing. They gave him a lot of money thinking they were going to turn a profit. They didn't. So he left.
Nope.
They weren't paying him anymore. He left. He went to PBC. He fights against Caleb Plant, does a $18 million gate. They do like 700,000 pay-per-views. They see that. They're like, oh, shit. If they can do it, we can make money off of him. So they signed him to another multi-fight deal. They take losses in every single one of those fights again. So it's like then he goes back to PBC, you know, fights against Charlo. They do 700,000 pay-per-views. They do a $22 million gate. They make a huge revenue. He goes back to DAZN to try to get fights with them. They say no. They offered him low-ass money because they don't know how to. They understood that now we're not falling that for again. But whatever, they might be having success with him, but we can't generate money with him like that. To the point where he goes back to PBC, and then they actually take DAZN fighters, and twice they do $17 million gates, and they do 700,000 plus pay-per-views again. Now it's like he's looking at that, Turkey's looking at that and saying, oh, they can do those numbers. Well, I can do higher numbers with them. You know, let me take him and I'll put him against Terence Crawford. We're going to do all these crazy numbers. When again, history says no. When he's on DAZN, when he's working with those same people, Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, reviews get cut in half and the gates get cut in half. I think the highest gate they ever did with Canelo was $9 million. And they actually had, I think, a fight in Florida where they did less than a $3 million gate. I guess like whatever that dude's name was, Yildirim or whatever the hell his name was.
Yeah.
They did a $3 million gate. And now you're taking them all the way to Saudi Arabia. Mexicans ain't traveling to freaking Saudi Arabia. The Mexicans didn't travel to Florida. And you think there's a reason why these, Mexican fighters fight in the West Coast, like Arizona, Texas, California. That's where most of the fan bases is right there. And they flood the fights, wherever it is, Vegas, Texas, Cali, they'll flood it. And you'll be back up there with a Canelo Alvarez. You taking them all the way to freaking Saudi Arabia, you're not going to get no gate. You're going to get a $1-2 million gate just like these other fighters have been getting. You know, and you
That's
being
exactly
on the zone,
right.
and the fighters that they're saying that he's going to fight, he's not going to make money on that. So I actually have to, with the amount of money he's putting out, I have to disagree with you. He's not going to come anywhere close to going out even. He's going to lose significantly more money than he's been losing. He's going to lose more money off this deal than he's done any other deal. Crawford's going to make out like a freaking king. We will never see Crawford again. He's going to make off like a king. Freaking Canelo Alvarez is going to make off like a king. And he's not even going to have to fight any real fighters. He's going to have to fight a dude. He's going to be the Terence Crawford is the hardest fight he's going to have, and that's going to be a guy against a guy that he's going to be 20 pounds bigger than him, and everybody else is straight bums. And that's all he's going to have to face. So I don't see how this plan works. And he already put out all the big fights that you could say were big fights, with the undisputed at heavyweight, undisputed at 175. He's done all the so-called big fights. To me, it's like he already blew his wad. And nothing, you know, is Usyk some kind of big superstar now you can put in Vegas and do a $20-30 million gate and do pay-per-views? And answer that is no. Is Beterbiev or Bebo some kind of big star now? Like, they don't exist. So from what I'm seeing, with what I'm looking at, it is a desperate move, but it's a desperate move that's not going to work. The only people that are going to benefit from this is the promotional companies that are still taking his money, freaking Canelo and Terence Crawford, who's about to probably like do most of his career in one fight.
All right. I'm back. Oops. Hold on real quick.
Oh, man.
Yeah, hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, so I had to bring some people in. I think that's Band Up, and I don't know who's 609.
Yeah, you know me, boy, Band Up still here. I've been here for literally like an hour and 45 minutes. I just been letting you guys cook.
Oh yeah, I couldn't admit you because I wasn't at my computer, but I'm back at my computer now. Go. And I got Terrence Best Damn Videos in the building. What's up?
Chilling. I'm confused what y'all talking about.
Man, we've been talking about Turki Alalshikh. What you mean? What you confused about?
I'm confused. I mean, he was saying that Turkey's trying to take over boxing. I'm confused. What y'all saying?
Oh, that's what your boy was talking about, saying that Turkey was trying to take over boxing.
Oh, okay. Well, what are y'all saying? What's your point? Y'all making?
I'm saying that topic doesn't. I mean, that point doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. That's all I was saying.
I don't think he's trying to take over boxing.
Yeah,
so,
doesn't make sense.
He's good or bad for boxing?
I don't know what he is for boxing yet.
Well, what you mean you don't know what
I don't know what he.
Obviously, he's good for boxing, man.
Okay.
What arguments you have against? What arguments are you making against him not being good for Walter?
Hey man, I already told you why I think, what he is and all that. Come on, man.
What? I mean, that's what I said. I missed it, Greg. What was it?
I hear you, Walt. Go. Let me give Terrence a chance to talk. Go ahead. Huh?
Yeah, you got to give me some points because I missed. Like I said, I just got on. I know I heard the other gentleman talk about, but I wasn't sure what he was talking about. I didn't hear you say anything about Turkey.
Listen, Turki Alalshikh is what he is. He's a zaddy that's been pampering a lot of these boxers. At the point in which, like, my thing is, at some point, like, to me, it's like giving a child their way when they're doing something incorrect is not the right thing to do, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, overpaying somebody for a task that they do does not benefit them, and it does not benefit a company. All the company does is lose money, or the industry just tanks. Period. Right? That's not how business works. So, I I don't know what he's doing, honestly. I have no idea what he's doing. I don't know what his strategy is. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so your only complaint is a bad business strategy. Why do you care? If he goes out of business,
Because it damages the sport. Because it damages the sport.
How so? How so?
Okay, so if you go out there and I use this as an example, you go out there and you one company and you've been overpaying I don't know, teachers, right? And you've been paying teachers like $40,000 and $50,000 more, 2 times what they should be making. Right? Now you got all these teachers running over there trying to make money off you or trying to work for you in other areas of the country or the county or whatever you want to call it. They're struggling with their teachers. Then all of a sudden you realize, oh man, shit, this is the wrong game for me to be in because I can't actually afford to continue to do this. I'm losing money. So then you stop. Now all these teachers are used to making $150,000 a year. They don't want to go back to the old company. So now you got a shortage of teachers because you got teachers that have been fooled to believe that they should be earning more than what they're actually worth. And you have this glut in your school system. It's with anything else, man. You start overpaying somebody, you fuck it up.
Let me know when I can counter that, Greg.
Hey man, you ain't got no damn counter for that, man. You better talk about some crazy shit. But go ahead.
I'm not going to talk about. So the counter to that is like now with schools and teachers. I mean, like you always say, it's apples to oranges. Because with regards to school teachers, we need them, and it will be it'll be problematic. But you know as well as I know that at some point the market corrects themselves, right? The market always corrects itself.
That's
so
fine.
These fighters is being overpaid. No, Greg. So now you're telling me that the market don't correct itself. Meaning
that's not what I just said.
That these fighters that's being overpaid, once they find out that hey, that's gone, it's over. These fighters will accept whatever the new market rate is. It happens all the time in business.
Hold on.
Don't know that.
Hold on. No, that's wrong.
You act like these guys that are fighters are just going to say, oh, whoa, you know what? I'm not going to fight anymore. What am I going to do? Well,
hold on. Let me finish. Oh, my goodness. Jesus Christ. Brother, let me respond to what you're saying. Yes, they eventually accept it, right? Have you ever heard of the housing crisis?
Yes.
Yeah. That's when houses went way above what they should have been. Then the market corrected itself. Yep. Let me finish. The bottom falls out, and then all of a sudden you have a fucking crisis with a bank that we have to bail them out. Right? Yes, the market corrects it. Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Motherfucking people got all of their money in their house. They've been taking out loans against their house. Then all of a sudden the market corrects themselves and they're upside down on their house. Yes, the market corrects itself and people eventually get back to the point where they need to be. But there is a glut in the situation. All of a sudden, no one is buying homes. That's the part that I'm talking about. Just like what I just said, that there's a glut and it resets. Yes, the boxers will eventually start to accept it, but the sport is already damaged. Now you can't, like people are not accepting fights for, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. You're not getting any fights, and that damages the sport. By the time they realize, oh shit, I got to accept the money that I should be making, the sport is already damaged. It's not hard to understand.
Okay, first of all, let's touch on your 2008 housing crisis. Well, there were people with
you're talking about boxing a house.
There were people with 550 credit scores buying houses for $250,000 with incomes with $25,000. Okay, so that person obviously knew they were buying a house that they couldn't afford. So if you have all of these people and being aided by the government buying houses they couldn't afford, what do you think is going to happen? But guess what? Those people got to enjoy that house while they could. So they would have never gotten a house otherwise. Just like these boxers. Hey, guess what? They're enjoying the fruits of their labor. They're getting
Boy,
overpaid
this
right
is a
now.
terrible argument. Oh my God, this is so.
Greg, guess what?
Greg.
Okay.
Can I say one
and
thing?
we'll still have boxing.
All right, let
Can I say
everybody.
one thing?
Hey, best damn videos, Terrence. Everybody knows that your logic is terrible, so I'm not going to respond. Go ahead, Walt.
Well, Terrence, what you didn't hear, what they were talking about was people keep saying Turki Alalshikh's taking over boxing. So if you're taking over boxing, like television said, why are you buying crumbs? If you're supposed to be taking over, do like the dude did with UFC. Just buy the whole thing. And what I think's happening is they're washing money because he keeps putting on events that are losing money every single time.
I didn't hear what you said. You said something about washing money?
No, that's what it looks like. Think about what I'm saying. He keeps putting on events that keep losing money.
Okay.
It's so, bruh, Terrence, are you gonna keep doing something that's losing you money all the time? So there has to be something behind it, because he keeps putting on these good. Some of these cards are really good cards. I'm looking forward to Terence and Canelo if that happens, but they keep losing money. So something's got to be something. Ain't none of us that are talking gonna keep just throwing money away. There has to be something behind it. That's the only thing I'm thinking. I don't care about what Turki Alalshikh and all that stupid shit. I care about people saying he's taking over something. If I'm gonna take over something, I'm gonna buy it all. I'm not gonna rent pieces of it. But if I'm losing money, there's got to be something behind it. I don't think all them Saudi people behind him are just saying, "Yeah, just keep burning money. We don't care." That's what it looks like to me, because they keep putting on all these events and they're losing money on them.
Oh, my response to that is, and why do you care as a boxing fan?
No, I didn't say I cared, brother.
Yeah.
You didn't listen to the first thing I said. I said I get tired of people saying he's taking over.
You on my side.
Hey, let me ask you something. Let me hold on real quick.
Listen.
All right.
Listen real quick. I was just talking about what they were talking about before you came on. The guy was trying to tell television that a man is taking over something that he ain't trying to buy, that he's just renting. It's like, so Terrence, if you said you were taking over something, wouldn't you come in like the dudes did with UFC and just buy the whole thing? Why would you be taking crumbs? That's what they were talking about before you came on.
Look, let me ask you a question real quick, Terrence.
Yeah.
No. But let me ask you a question real quick, Terrence. What's your favorite food? You go out to a restaurant or fast food. What's your favorite food?
God damn, man, you put me on the spot, bro. Fuck, I like all sorts of shit, man.
Just give me one.
You gotta give. Let's say chicken, man.
Chicken, man. Kentucky Fried Chicken. When you care if Kentucky Fried Chicken is your favorite chicken, and you had that chicken once a week, you love that chicken, and you found out that Kentucky Fried Chicken was paying their employees 5 times what the market is, and soon they'll be out of business. When you be concerned about what the fuck Kentucky Fried Chicken is paying their employees if you know they can't afford to pay their employees that, and eventually it's gonna fuck them up? Cause your chicken gonna be gone, nigga.
Well, what happened?
It's the same shit. You don't gotta answer.
No,
you don't gotta answer. It's the same shit.
No, Greg, I can't let you get away with that, Greg, because we gotta say exactly what happens, Greg. You know what happens. So if
what happens?
That chicken company is going under business, and we know it can be profitable if we cut employee wages, what do they come in? Somebody comes in, buys it up, and then hires new folks at the rate that's going to make it affordable.
But hold on. You're missing my point.
Greg.
No. You're hold on, brother. Hold on. You're skipping steps. You're skipping steps. You just asked us hold on. You just asked us as fans, why do we care what they're getting paid? I just told you why, and you now understand why I care, because that potentially puts that business in jeopardy. Now, you just said that somebody could come in and buy it, right? Now, Applying the analogy that I was giving you before. Let me finish. Applying the analogy that I was giving you before. They're going to come in, they're going to cut prices. They're going to cut salaries, right? Okay, those people are like, screw this. I was supposed to be making X. I'm not making this money. I'm gone. Okay. All right. Then your Kentucky Fried Chicken will shut down for a little bit until they find other people to come in and work the wages that they need for them to work to be profitable. And that is what I just told you. There's going to be a glut in the sport while it resets.
I got a rebuttal for that.
Oh man,
shit.
Let me tell you, no, seriously, because these guys, boxers, their shelf life isn't great, so they can't afford to say, oh yeah, well, the new owner's coming in paying less. Oh, I'm going to just hold out. I'm not going to buy. You're still going to the same thing. These guys box for a living.
Oh
so
my God,
if the new
Terrence.
owner or the new market comes through, they can either say yes, I'm going to fight for this amount, or no, I'm not going to fight for that amount. If they don't fight for that amount, well, guess what? We don't get the fight. If they do fight for that new amount, they fight.
Exactly.
So that's where we're at.
Yeah, but hold on. But
Greg,
Terrence.
Greg, we've been there. Greg, we've been there.
No.
Overpaying Canelo for years.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
No, the zone has been overpaying them for years.
They've been paying overpaying Canelo.
Yeah, the zone overpaid them. But hold on, Terrence. The zone overpaid them, but in reality, the zone just didn't know what the hell they were doing. That's number one. Number two, yes, fighters have been overpaid, but not to the extent that they're getting overpaid today. And we begrudge. Hold on, let me finish. We begrudge PBC for what they did back in 2015, taking that $500 million and overpaying fighters. And we saw what that initially did. We saw fighters sitting on the sideline because they were looking for big paydays that were no longer available. And we saw a glut in the sport for a while until fighters really reset and realized, oh, that money is no longer there. I got to fight for this amount of dollars. Now, Turki Alalshikh is playing quadruple that. So what impact do you think? It's going to be even worse. That's my point, Terrence. That's it. It fucks up the sport. Did I say it's going to fuck it up permanently? No. But it does fuck up the sport temporarily until it resets. And you can't deny that, period.
All right. That's right.
What's going on?
Okay. Because my problem is that the fact that I think it can hurt the sport. The main issue I have is the fact that you're having like all these fights, pretty much almost all of them in Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And that can really hurt the growth of your sport in your own country, like in the United States. And like I see like in the UK, think about how many big fights should have happened in the UK that didn't happen in the UK that just happened in Saudi Arabia. How many, like, when you talk about like the Usyk versus Tyson Fury, that should have been in the UK for Undisputed. Like they had all these, so many big fights could have happened there, but they didn't get it. That's gonna hurt their sport, that growth of their sport.
The gate would have been way bigger
in the United States, and we're not gonna have the United States. That can hurt our sport here because all these fans that you could be gaining by them watching the fights in the States, most of them are not going to watch it, especially with the fights happening in the middle of the afternoon. Like in 2 weeks, think about it. In 2 weeks, we're going to have Kid Austin that's going to be fighting against Shakur Stevenson, where they should be fighting in like Jersey, and they should be the main event where all eyes are on them, where they have a spectacular fight. One of those guys could end up turning into a star. You got Ortiz that's going to be in a big fight, where he should be like in Texas somewhere, you know what I'm saying, or in the United States, either as a main event or the co-main, in a fight that could really catapult him to the next level. But they're going to be stuck on the undercard in the middle of the afternoon in Saudi Arabia, where they're going to be completely overshadowed by these two other dudes fighting that no one gives two fucks about anyway.
On a Saturday afternoon where they're going to forget going.
That can hurt the growth of your sport. That can hurt the growth of your sport big time.
I have a question for you now.
What's the question?
Listen, I agree with you, but here's my question. Would you rather have those fights or not have the fight? because to this point, these guys haven't been fighting each other in the States. They haven't accepted the amount of money that they would have to take in order to make the fights in the States. So you either have two choices. You can either accept what Turkey's doing and get the fights, or not accept what he's doing and not get the fights. Which would you prefer? Have the fights in the States that we get? We do want those fights in the UK and in the United States. But do you want the fights or you don't want the fights? I'm asking you that question.
Cool. I would rather him not pay them people. Because if they did, no, because I'll give you my reasoning. Because if he didn't pay those people, number one, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez wouldn't be happening. And where Terence Crawford now, his biggest paydays would have been with a Fundora, would have been with a Charlo, where we could have got those unifications. So guess where he would have been at? In order for him to get his biggest paydays, guess where he would have had to have gone? He would have had to have gone to PBC, where we've been able to see Terence Crawford fight at 154 pounds against the other world champions. That's where he would have been at. You know what I'm saying?
How did you know that fight happens?
Shakur Stevenson. Guess where his biggest payday would have been? Guess where Shakur Stevenson's biggest payday would have been? When they went up to talk to him about about facing Gervonta Tank Davis. That would have been his biggest payday. That's where he would have gone. So it would have made it easier to get that fight set. But when he has other avenues, and I don't blame him for this either. Anybody saw him being hit, I'm not blaming him for this. When he has other avenues that he can go to and get a shitload of money and have way less risk and have a crazy ass reward.
Talking facts.
Yeah, he's gonna go over there. I don't blame him. I don't blame Terence Crawford. They're gonna pay me $50 million to fight this dude over here. I'm gonna take that. Man. So I would rather him not be there, because all these different entities, and I'll let you, and you can ask me, all these different entities have kind of like messed up what the way boxing was set up before. Before it was, you had like a Mike Tyson, you had Oscar De La Hoya, you had Sugar Ray Leonard. Like those were your biggest paydays. Where it's like you're gonna 10x what you made. But now it's like people get paid a shitload more than what they actually generate. So when there's it makes it more difficult to set up those bigger fights, because now they can look at it like, nah, you know what? I would make more money, but I'm gonna make this in 3 fights anyway, and take, and not have nowhere near the risk, and they're gonna take that. We saw people get into the ring with Mike Tyson shaking, shivering, scared shitless, but they still did it because that was their biggest payday, and they weren't making that amount of money in 10 fights. So I would rather him not be there, and I'd rather DAZN not be there. To be honest, I would rather those entities not be there, and them only been like 2 places like ESPN and like Amazon, where everybody was like at ESPN and Amazon. So where we were just getting the fights, where half the fighters were one or half the fighters were another, and we're getting a whole lot of the different fights, because there's only 2 places you can go. Like you either had to go to Bob Arum or you went to Don King. That was it. There was nowhere else. And that's part of why we got all those big fights that we did, because there's only 2 places to go instead of all these different entities that will just throw all this money at you. So I'd rather him not be there.
Well, hey, y'all guys, I'm sorry, man, but I got to go ahead and wrap this one up. I've been on now for over 3 hours. But I appreciate everybody that called in and supported the channel today. I got to give ASVP TV another shout out. He hit us with the $1.99. Who puts on the best card? Obviously, that's Al Heyman and PBC. All right. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. We're gonna be live Sunday. I would love suggestion because I know it's gonna be the Super Bowl. Y'all think we should start a little early?
Earlier, man. The game's on.
Yo, what time y'all think we should come on?
She got to come on like 2, because the game's on at 6:30, bro. Because people, you come on at 4, people gonna be cutting off, leaving the show, man. Come on earlier.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna talk to Jason. See if we come on 2:30.
That'll work.
All right, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Terrence Best Videos. Thank you. Tunnel Vision helped me hold it down while I was driving. Appreciate y'all, and thank y'all, everybody in the chat.
Speaking facts, brother.
For real. I mean, Tunnel, you got to start coming back more, man. You've been gone too long, man. We've been over flooded by Terence Crawford fans, man. You got to be around more.
Oh no, well, yeah. Usually Sundays when you're on, I listen, but I'm sometimes not able to actually call in on Sunday because some stuff that I'm doing. But if I'm available, I definitely will call.
All right, fam. All right, y'all. We'll catch up.
All right, later, guys.
All right, later. All right, peace, y'all.